Milwaukee County Stadium for today's interdivision matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Brown. Well, the Eagles come to Milwaukee with the great quarterback controversy still very much alive. Randall Cunningham was benched last week in favor of Jim McMahon, who sparked a lifeless offense to victory over the Raiders. My partner is ex-Washington Redskins offensive lineman George Stark. George, Randall Cunningham back in as starter today. What are you expecting?
Well, Coach Kotite expects Randall to be very nervous today. So look for a simplified game plan, both run and pass, to allow Randall time to relax, and hopefully he will become for the Eagles the Randall Cunningham of old.
The Packers last week, very impressive against the New York Giants. They won the statistical battle, but actually lost the game.
Well, they feel they've gelled as a team over the last 3 weeks. They went toe-to-toe with a very tough New York Giants team, and they feel they would have won that game had it not been for some kicking game miscues. They think they can handle this Philadelphia Eagles team. Look for a very physical and emotional game today.
Typical weather conditions for southeastern Wisconsin, just a notch above freezing. The forecast actually for partly sunny today. Philadelphia has won the coin toss and will receive. And the inactives for today's game, Ty Detmer and Cecil Gray for Green Bay. The Eagles, with 4 quarterbacks on the roster, will sit down Casey Weldon and David Archer. Richie Kotite in his second season at the helm for the Philadelphia Eagles, 50-year-old successor to Buddy Ryan. And Mike Holmgren, used to very balmy conditions in San Francisco in his first season here, in charge of the Packers with a record of 3-6, has definitely seen improvement in the team. While maybe not necessarily reflective in the record, they are playing some inspired football. Chris Jackie will be kicking off for the Packers. You see the numbers there, 34 kickoffs, 4 touchbacks. And he's been doing a superb job for the Packers, just missed setting a new Packer record with 13 consecutive games with the field goal. Herschel Walker back among others to receive for the Eagles. Packers have mastered the Eagles here in Milwaukee County Stadium, having a 3-zip record, and we're underway here in Milwaukee. And it's Vai Sikahema. And he continues his superb returns, taking it out to the 30 for the Eagles. So Cunningham will start with very good field position. You see the numbers not stellar the last 4 games he's played in. Looking to improve, he's got Ron Heller anchoring on the left tackle.
And that's Antone Davis at right tackle. Been struggling this year, but getting better, JB.
Backs and receivers, you see the starters there, but Heath Sherman has earned some playing time.
That's because Keith Byers will be playing with a broken hand.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball spotted at the 29. Walker, the lone back. And Walker, the ball carrier. And Herschel Walker spinning ahead for maybe about 3. Herschel Walker. Packer defense, we talked about at the top of the show. Hard-hitting one led by this guy here, Chuck Cecil, that is, second in tackles. And a very impressive defensive line. The veteran Robert Brown, one of those guys.
Robert Brown has played in 101 consecutive games.
George Coons gives him a little speed on the outside as far as the linebacking core is concerned. And the secondary, the best guy back there, Terrell Buckley, the rookie, who is trying to get some good technique together. Complete pass from Randall Cunningham to Fred Barnett. I think he's going to be maybe about a foot shy, maybe inches from the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it.
You know, they're trying to build Cunningham's confidence. We talked about it in the opening. We saw a little run to Herschel Walker. Now we get a short pass to Barnett on the outside. The key here is move the chains, keep the chains moving, keep the ball in your possession, yet give Randall time to relax, get into his own personal flow.
It's close enough for a measurement, and just by the tip, the nose of the ball, it is a first down. George, again, let's elaborate on that. Richie Kotite was saying he wants Cunningham to build his confidence early in the game, so he's designed the plays accordingly.
Well, a lot of quarterbacks have different ways and different times of getting relaxed during the course of a game. Randall hasn't played last week, as everybody knows. He's under a lot of pressure. He wasn't playing well when they took him out. So what he wants to do now is not press too hard and give up a bad play. Just get his own rhythm going.
First and 10, ball at the 40. Flyers in the wing position. And way offsides is Matt Brock. We'll find out if he was drawn offsides.
That's going to play.
Jerry Austin is our referee today.
Encroachment, number 62, 5 yards, it's still first down.
And you heard the call. Randall Cunningham started the season off in superb fashion. The first 4 games was just simply outstanding. And I guess folks were saying, gosh, he didn't miss a beat coming back from injury at all. But the successive games, he did have some difficulties.
Well, they started to struggle as an offense, and this is comparing the 2 seasons in 1 season. 70% completion to 53%.
First and 5 for the Eagles at the 45. Randall to pass. Good time. Decides to take off. And is stopped with a short gain. Matt Brock making up for the encroachment call. And the way the ball is spotted, it looks like Cunningham got no yardage on the play. So that will, in fact, qualify as a sack.
2nd and 5.
You know, on that pass, Randall Cunningham had a short pattern. It was just a 3-step drop. He was supposed to drop 3 and deliver the ball. It wasn't open. Therefore, he had no place to go. He had to pull it down and try to run with the football. That time, he wasn't running too quickly out of the pocket.
We saw the numbers on Green Bay's sack total. Much more aggressive. 2nd and 5. The delayed handoff. And Walker bounces off the pile. Tries to head outside. And Herschel Walker strung out. Johnny Holland, among others, leading the tacklers, and a gain of 2 on the play by Herschel Walker.
You know, there wasn't anything in there. There was no place for Herschel to go. Green Bay feels that if they can put some big hits on Herschel early in the game, perhaps they can psychologically take him out of this game.
3rd and 4.
They feel he's one of those players where if you bloody him early, it sort of takes away his resolve as the day goes on. So look for them to be trying to hit Herschel pretty hard in the first quarter.
We'll call that the early game big hit theory.
The early game big hit theory of Herschel Walker.
3rd and 3 for Philadelphia. Ball at the 47. Flag on the play again. Cunningham with the free play going downtown. Looking for Williams. Incomplete. Defending on the play was Roland Mitchell, but there is a flag on the play.
You know, Randall, being the veteran he is, he saw the defensive lineman jump off sides. He knew he had a free play, so he went downtown.
You take a look at Randall Cunningham. The first person he ran to on the sidelines to chat with that time was Jim McMahon. And again, many people talk about the kind of relationship, whether or not it's a feigned one on a part of Randall, but Randall really does have respect for McMahon's intelligence and experience.
Absolutely. He recognizes that Jim McMahon has been there. He's been to the Super Bowl. He wears a ring. He's a good veteran quarterback, and Randall could use some leadership right about now. He recognizes Jim as one of those people that can give it to him.
And with the penalty, it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the 48 of Green Bay. On the ground again. Walker, big hole. First down run by Herschel Walker. Finally stopped by Chuck Cecil. And speaking of Chuck Cecil, Cecil was the one talking about the big hit theory early on as far as Herschel Walker maybe being able to intimidate him, but not on that play.
Well, Chuck Cecil was the guy that put a couple big hits on Dave Meggett with the Giants last week. And he's looking for Herschel. I'm not sure he wants to meet Herschel one-on-one. Herschel get the head of steam coming right up the middle like that. He needs a couple guys hanging on Herschel, and he comes up and puts a lick on him.
A little help indeed. Just underway here, first quarter action, 11:49 and counting, no score. Opening drive for Philadelphia. 1st and 10, ball at the 38 of the Packers. Maurice Johnson in motion. Cunningham to pass again. Good time, lobbing one deep for Barnett. And Barnett had his fingers on it. Barnett looking back, thinking he was pushed before the ball got to him. Terrell Buckley was defending. Nice looking touch pass by Cunningham, and it looked like it was a good one.
The pass was finally delivered. What's interesting in addition to that was the slight roll to the right. Randall Cunningham taking advantage of his mobility. We talked, was Richie Kotite going to take advantage of Randall's mobility, giving him some rolls, some bootlegs, little roll to the right, took him away from the pocket. Nicely delivered pass, just not quite short enough, slightly overthrown.
Boy, and that was a close one indeed. Buckley timing it. Barnett wanted to push, didn't get it. 2nd and 10. Byers in motion. And again, we've got some line movement, early line movement. Antone Davis that time.
Before the snap, 78. Ball start. 5 yards. It's still 2nd down.
And George, we talk about the continuing education of Antone Davis, the 2nd-year player. And again, a lot on his mind. You've seen enough tape of him. Give me your synopsis of it.
Well, he's a little nervous. Last week, he also jumped off sides against the Raiders early in the first quarter like this. I think as a young fellow who's been struggling this year, there's a lot of pressure on him. He tends to make mistakes in the first quarter. Then he settles down and plays better as the game goes on.
2nd and 15. And a timeout is called on the field. Philadelphia whistles for a timeout, leaving 2 for co-tight end Eagles. No score, first quarter action.
Sony introduces the new standard in television. Trinitron XBR Squared.
Hey, look! It's the Grand Canyon!
It'll change the way you feel about everything you see. From Sony.
Colts. Buccaneers. Lions. Cowboys. Seahawks. Rams.
After the teams chose the inspiration for their names, they chose GTE, the telecommunications consultant to the NFL. Imagine what GTE could do for you.
It's a celebration.
Celebrate life with Eden Rock.
Castrol GTX is the only leading motor oil that meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown in every grade. This is the only way to get that kind of performance from any other leading brand. Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Back here in Milwaukee, no score between the Eagles and the Packers. 11:34 left in the first quarter play. George, there is a guy right there, George Kuntz, who literally hustled his way onto the roster for the Packers.
Absolutely. He was an inside linebacker at first, but he had so much speed and was so effective on special teams that Ray Rhodes, the defensive coordinator, said, we got to get this guy on the field in cover situations. He's also the linebacker that will be the spy versus Randall Cunningham in long yardage situations. He'll be tracking Cunningham, keeping him from running.
2nd and 15 from the 43. Cunningham to pass. Intended receiver was Byers, and Buckley, feeling he had a bead on it, could have come up with the pick. And Terrell Buckley, a very, very, we can't say bashful. I mean, this guy really believes in himself, and that's probably putting it diplomatically.
He believes that he is the best thing to come into the NFL in many years. What's amazing is his size. This guy is tiny. Before the game, I was standing next to him. He's listed at 5'9". I think it's closer to 5'7". They say he's 179. I think it's closer to 160. But he's got a lot of heart. He's looking for a big play. He has yet to make one this year.
He plays very big. 3rd and 15 for the Eagles. Cunningham waits patiently, drills it incomplete. And he threw it in the direction of Calvin Williams.
They only had, Green Bay only had a 3-man rush that time. It looked like Randall was feeling the pressure, and what's interesting is that they got it with just 3 men. Randall could have run that time. I think he's feeling that he wants to stay in the huddle, not be a runner. That was one time I think he perhaps could have run.
Jeff Feagles punting for the Eagles, and Terrell Buckley fair catches it at the 15. So the Packers will take over after that 27-yard punt by Feagles. 1st and 10 when we come back.
Suppose you wanted to make a chair as stable as can be. where would you put the legs? Right at the corners, right? Now, suppose you wanted to make a car as stable as can be. Where would you put the wheels? Right. That's why the new Intrepid is so remarkably stable. The wheels are pushed out toward the corners. The further we pushed, the more stable and sure-footed it became. Intrepid. This changes everything.
It's the way we make you feel that makes people fly British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
We all count on our batteries to get us through. But you never know when they're going to hit the skids. Only Duracell has the Copper Top Battery Tester. So you can be sure your batteries will keep you gliding along. For batteries you know will last, you can't top the Copper Top.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Levi's Dockers, nobody does colors like Dockers. And by UPS for reliable, on-time delivery throughout Europe and around the world. Trust UPS.
Let's take a look at Brett Favre, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, second-year quarterback out of Southern Mississippi, getting set for the opening drive for the Packers, who are starting deep in their own territory at the 15. There's Sterling Sharp, a young man who is a major part of this offense. Jackie Harris in motion. Favre on the handoff. And on the ground running hard, the Packers go ahead for about 3 yards. Vince Workman-like. And speaking of Workman-like, Sterling Sharp, a guy who probably accounts for about 70% of the Packers' offense. And in talking with the Eagles, they recognize that he is the man that they've got to start. As you take a look at a big offensive line, Tootie Robbins, the anchor on the right tackle spot, a big guy who moves well. Workman, Sidney, Sanjay Beach, and Sterling Sharp. Two tight end formation. Favre throws it complete to Jackie Harris, and Jackie Harris ahead for the first down across the 30. You know, this Packers coaching staff effusive in its praise of this guy, Jackie Harris. They say a star waiting to happen.
Well, Jackie Harris is, as you said, JB, according to them, a star waiting to happen. It's important that the tight end do well in their system because, as Coach Mike Holmgren has said, and that's Jackie Harris in the middle of your screen making the catch. He's a tight end that likes to go downfield. He's got soft hands. He can run well after the ball. But more importantly, the tight end has got to do well in this system because he's a primary receiver.
First and 10 from the 33, and again we have offsides. Now we'll have to see whether or not Jackie Harris actually moved and drew the Eagles off.
For the snap, ball start, number 80. 5 yards, it's still first down.
And in fact, reason to be a little nervous going against this Eagles defense, which is certainly one of the most feared in the NFL. Clyde Simmons, he may look like a choir boy, but he leads the NFL with 11 quarterback sacks. And talk about an impressive defensive line.
Absolutely. Of course, the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, waiting to break loose.
Byron Evans having a Pro Bowl type of year. Secondary, a little weak, but Eric Allen considered to be the best by Richie Kotite in the league. First and 15. Favre patiently drills it complete to Sterling Sharp, who now has caught a pass in 65 consecutive games as he continues to extend his Packer record with consecutive games. And Sharp, one of the strongest wide receivers. I mean, guys don't try to play him bump and run, George.
Well, what the Eagles are going to try to do, they're going to double cover him all day long, what they call bracketing on defense, a guy inside and outside or upside and underneath. The problem with doing that to Sterling Sharp is he's physically so strong that he will knock a bump and run receiver, a defender, out of the way.
Second and 4. And at the 40. Workman. And Vince Workman ahead for, we'll call it 3. Should bring up a 3rd and 1 situation. They get a favorable spot. They call it a 1st down. So the Packers, with the running game, pick up the 1st down. Interesting, listening to Mike Holmgren, he says, we were asking him about Vince Workman. I mean, the guy has really improved statistically in a number of categories, but yet they say he doesn't possess an awful lot of talent, but gets the most out of it.
Well, Vinny Workman is not the kind of a player that's flashy. He's not a big speed guy, but he's a guy that comes to work every day and gets the job done. If you block for 5 yards, he'll get 5 yards and hold on to the ball. Doesn't fumble or turn it over.
8-10 and counting left in the first quarter played. No score. Opening drive for the Packers. Barr pumps and throws it complete. Fumble! And it looks to be recovered by the Eagles. Seth Jordan looked to have been the one to knock it loose, and Rich Miano came up with the fumble recovery. 2nd fumble recovery of the season for Miano.
This is the kind of thing that gives Coach Mike Holmgren nightmares. As it stands now, the Green Bay Packers lead the NFL in fumbles with 30. It's now obviously 31. No matter how good you play, you've got to hold on to the football.
Quote, a mid-sized Dodge Dakota with an optional 230 horsepower Magnum V8 outpowers, outhauls, and just plain outpulls even full-size 5-liter V8s from Ford and Chevy. Unquote. Dodge, the most powerful line of trucks anywhere.
Get $500 cash back on new Dodge Dakotas.
Shirts. Beware the man who says, I'll give you the shirt off my back. Chances are it's not a Dockers shirt, and therefore of no great loss to him, nor of any particular gain to you. Nobody does shirts like Dockers.
In Europe, things happen on time, right on schedule. Punctuality is the norm. And that makes Europe the ideal environment for UPS. Fact is, UPS has built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So when you have a shipment going there that has to be on time, use the delivery company whose punctuality is a time-honored tradition. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
7:59 left in the first quarter play. Jackie Harris, the outstanding tight end for Green Bay, with that fumble. And Green Bay, as George Stark mentioned, leads the NFL in fumbles. 31 fumbles on the season now, and they've lost 15. As we take a look at Herschel Walker, the gain of about 5, it looks like, by Herschel Walker. Well, Herschel now has gotten off to a bit of a decent start now, not having been hit hard. And again, we were talking about Chuck Cecil saying he played against Herschel when he was with Minnesota, and they smashed him that first game, that first play, the first time they played against him, and he was no good the rest of the game.
That's what he said, but I think it's too late for that now. Herschel has got some runs under his belt, and as the game goes forward now, the longer he runs, the better he'll probably get.
On 2nd and 5, Cunningham running and throwing too hard, incomplete. Intended receiver was Byers. Bounced off of him. It was a drilled pass, and the pressure that time applied by Matt Brock. And right now, let's swing you back to New York for an update with Greg Gumbel.
All right, JB, at Kansas City, Christian Okoye gets the Chiefs on the board first from 2 yards out, and with the extra point, Kansas City leading Washington 7-0 in the first. James?
All right, Greg, and talking about big running backs, I mean, Christian Okoye, virtually impossible to stop a guy about 260, 265 that close to the goal line.
You need at least 3 or 4 guys hanging on and hope he just gets tired of carrying you downfield.
3rd and 5. Cunningham out of the shotgun. Cunningham only 1 of 7 thus far. To make it 1 of 6 thus far as Cunningham throws to the intended receiver by Sikahema.
Notice Cunningham was rolling to the right on that play. As we spoke earlier, we talked to Cunningham, and he said he hoped that Richie Kotite would put some plays in to take advantage of his natural rolling and running ability. That was a roll to the right. Nobody's out there. Nice delivery of the football, but it relaxes him to be on the move when he's passing the ball.
That completion to Sikahema makes it first and 10 from the 41 of the Packers for the Eagles. And number 41, Byers, carrying the ball. Good second and third efforts by Keith Byers. Hard-fought 3 yards and a little discussion down on the field, if you will. Tell you, hats off to Keith Byers just to be playing in the game. You mentioned before he's playing with that broken pinky on his right hand, and he's wearing that glove and protective padding on the inside.
That's a soft cast, and he's a tough football player anyway. So the difficulty of playing with the soft cast is one thing, but also you have to hold on to the football. He's a running back, so he's got to be extra conscious of not fumbling that ball when he's carrying it with that soft cast on the football.
2nd and 6. Byers at the H-back spot. 5:45. And I think the play clock expired before the play.
Before the snap, the 25-second clock ran out. Delay of game, 5 yards. It's still 2nd down.
Let's take a look at Kotite again. He is so hopeful of success for Randall in this game. And Randall, as I correct myself on the stats, he is 2 of 6. So not a great start by Randall Cunningham.
Well, he doesn't look exactly comfortable to me yet. The Eagles want to get some points on the board, keep the ball, and at the same time have Randall relax.
On 2nd and 11, intended receiver was Keith Byers, and George Kuntz that time with good coverage, showing some of the speed and hustle that Mike Holmgren was talking about as far as Kuntz.
Well, the Eagles are lucky that this is not 7 going against them. Byers was in a little swing pass. George Kuntz is covering him man-to-man. Kuntz is out there early. That's Kuntz right in the middle of your screen, coming up underneath. Had that ball been delivered where it should have been, a little bit lower, Kuntz might have had that interception, and it would have been 7 going the other way.
So the Eagles faced with a 3rd and 11. Ball at the 42. 4 wide receivers in. Trips right formation. This is Roy Green in motion. Cunningham takes off. And that's the old Randall Cunningham running for the 1st down. That's what he said at the top of the show, that he wanted to do more, felt more comfortable doing that. He displayed it that time. Vinny Clark finally with the tackle.
But when Cunningham dropped back that time, JB, and look, he didn't even look downfield to deliver the ball. I don't think he's comfortable passing right now. He dropped back, pulled that down. He knew he was going to run that all the way, even though it was a called pass and not a called quarterback draw. I believe he's just not comfortable throwing the ball right now, much more comfortable running the ball.
18-yard gain down to the 23, 1st and 10. 4:35 and counting left in the 1st quarter. No score. Walker looking for a hole. None to be found. No gain on the play. Ryan Noble along with Holland on the tackle.
Herschel kind of turned that corner, looked upfield, said, no, I don't think so. Tried to go back inside. Tough for a big fella, Herschel's side. You know, he runs with those short little steps anyway, and when he's not going to turn that corner, he's not really good at totally reversing field like that. Nowhere to go on that play.
2nd and 11. On 24.
2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the 24. Walker, the lone back. Cunningham throws it complete to Beach. And that is the first catch for Pat Beach since October the 18th. That was his last catch. And again, there's been an awful lot of talk in Philadelphia about non-utilization of the tight ends. And Richie Kotite says, hey, those plays are there.
Well, of course, ever since the loss of Keith Jackson. Randall really hasn't been comfortable with the tight end position, and they need tight ends to catch the ball in this offense. Keith Jackson was a full 50% of their receptions. So they've got to work Pat Beach and Maurice Johnson in. Glad to see Randall going to him.
3rd and 3. The Eagles need to get to the 9. Make that the 14-4 first down. And no gain on the play that time. Tony Bennett leading the charge.
Tell us Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett is called the elephant in their defensive terminology, which I think is kind of interesting. Most other defense will call him the stub linebacker, which is, say, strong side. That's not Tony Bennett we're looking at. Tony Bennett is number 90, but anyway, he's the elephant, which is to say the strong side linebacker in that defensive scheme.
This is a 34-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. So Roger Ruzick drilling it through. He's 4 of 5 from that range, and the Eagles on the scoreboard first.
Sum it up. Point C, you can't afford. Point D, we don't offer.
Which leaves us with point E. We're working on that one.
Well, gentlemen, ladies, I trust you'll make the right choice.
Is this thing? Let's get MCI in here.
We saw that by moving its wheels toward the corners, we could make a sedan handle like a sports car. We saw that through precise tuning, we could vary the road feel, giving you a choice of 3 different suspensions. We saw how tires designed to our specifications could enhance not just handling, but quietness. And now that we've seen what's possible in a 4-door sedan, we can't see building one any other way. Intrepid. This changes everything.
For those of you who haven't noticed, our Big Mac Extra Value meal is getting even bigger. Yeah, real big. See, it's just $2.99 with fries and a Coke Classic, and we think that's a pretty big deal. Oh, got a little special sauce in your nose there.
The tingle feels like it's taking away the dandruff. That's me taking the Denorex shampoo test. I love that tingle. It convinced me to switch from Head & Shoulders to Denorex.
Denorex with conditioners, the dandruff shampoo you can feel working.
I'm a Denorex guy now.
It's the dead of night. An intruder breaks in, and he's just inches away.
The possibilities of what could happen to the victim were endless.
A special salute to heroic women. Rescue 911 Tuesday.
The Packers home away from home, Milwaukee County Stadium. Eagles on top 3-0 as we take a look at Jackie Harris, who I guess you could say had his first fumble of the year.
He did
make up for it.
He had his first fumble of the year. He made a big play. Then he jumped off sides. Then he had a fumble. He could be, I believe, it's going to be one of the major keys for Green Bay today if they expect to win. Jackie Harris has got to stay in this game.
And that was a short kick, and Corey Harris is going to give the Packers excellent field position as he runs out of bounds at about the 32. Roger Ruzick forcing him out as we take a look at Kansas City leading Washington 7-0 in the contest. We heard Greg Gumbel with the update. So the Packers will start with excellent field position. Ball is marked at the 32. 2:10 left in the first quarter. Eagles on top by a field goal.
Going back to Jackie Harris, JB, Sterling Sharp is going to get his catches. Workman is a good back. He'll get a lot of catches. Jackie Harris is a downfield tight end, which is needed to stretch that defensive envelope to open up the crossing patterns underneath for Sterling Sharp and Sanjay Beach.
1st and 10 from the I. And Brett Favre with the play action. Throws it complete to Harry Sidney, and Harry Sidney takes it across the 40. And looks to be more than enough for the first down as Harry Sidney bringing some veteran experience to the Packers. And it looks like Favre is holding that left shoulder of his. And that tends to happen whenever you play the mean defense of Philadelphia.
Well, he got crunched that time. The Eagles are going to try to put a lot of hits on him. That's the Minister of Defense, of course, Reggie White coming in on top. That's 305 pounds landing on top of you. What they want to do with a young quarterback is shake him up early, take him out of his game, like they did to Marinovich last week with the Raiders.
And he is playing hurt. You can see he's still favoring that left shoulder. 1st and 10. On the ground. And Workman with a nice run. 1st down and a lot more. 1 man to beat. Big hole. That's how you take care of pass rush, JB. No problem. We're not going to drop back and pass it. We're going to run it. Big hole, big run. Vince Workman. They said he wasn't the right back for this offense. They said he's not flashy, no moves, just gets the job done day in, day out, week in, week out. Nice play by Vince Workman. That's the way you take the pressure off a young quarterback. Big run by a veteran running back. 1st and 10, ball at the 13 of the Eagles. 25 seconds and counting left in the 1st quarter. Workman again. And Workman driving hard as he runs right into Byron Evans. Take a look at Philly's defense. Has allowed 8 plays of 40-plus yards, and the Eagles will say that when you play an aggressive, risky defense, you are subject to the big plays. And that's the end of the 1st quarter with the score. Philadelphia 3, Green Bay 0. We'll be back with the 2nd quarter after this.
Starting now, your photos have the power of television. Introducing the Kodak Photo CD.
You won't believe your heart. You won't believe your eye.
Your pictures taken with your current film and camera, transferred onto a new kind of compact disc and shown on TV. The special photo CD player also plays audio CDs.
Your pictures have never been so powerful.
The new Kodak Photo CD system. You've got to see it.
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
Imagine a new car so durable, its paint resists chips and salt and even birds. When scratched, one of its protective coatings actually seals itself. And what's more, it may never need waxing. You know something's changed when even the paint job is a work of art. Intrepid. This changes everything.
Holling's about to become a father.
I'm his daughter.
But Joel wants scientific proof.
First thing we're going to need is a sample.
Come again? Valerie Bryan guest stars on an all-new Northern Exposure Monday.
Okay. You got it coming out.
I don't know if it can be seen. The infield was sodded because this is a baseball. They play baseball here also. And the infield line is about 2 or 3 inches higher than where the outfield is. Hopefully one of the backs or receivers won't trip on that line.
2 tight end formation. On 2nd down for the Packers. Favre throws it complete to Harris. And Harris is drilled about 2 yards shy of what was necessary for the 1st down. Should bring up a 3rd and 2. Ball marked at the 5. And Byron Evans finally with the stop. And Harris, you know, we saw the shot of him on the sidelines when he created his first fumble. Guilty of his first fumble of the season, and he didn't look to be awfully bothered. Maybe he knew he was going to come back and try to make amends.
Well, in this business, no one's going to be right all the time. You're going to make mistakes. You got to shake them off. It's early in the game. You can't let it affect you and ruin your whole day. Your team needs you. He came back, big play.
3rd and 2. Favre throws it complete to Sterling Sharp. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers. There is a flag on the field. And we'll see if the touchdown stands.
Let's Sterling Sharpe. JB, you know that one of his goals this year, you and I spent some time talking to him, is to break Art Monk's single-season reception record.
There's no flag on the play. Touchdown.
So the touchdown stands as Sharpe comes up with his 7th receiving touchdown of the season.
It's a little bitty roll out to the right. Sterling Sharpe just releases into the flat. Jackie Harris up top had run off the defense. Little bit of open pass underneath, nicely executed. What's interesting about that is the Eagles, one of the Eagles' goals going into this game was to double Sterling Sharpe, try to take him out of the Green Bay offense. Has not worked. 7 points. He's one step closer to Art Monk's single-season reception record of 104.
And Jackie boots it through, so the Packers go on top and lead the Eagles on that Sterling Sharpe touchdown run.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I like this shop.
Okay, but we got a long list here.
Here, let me get the wine.
Okay.
You know what? It's a great Chardonnay. I hope they have it.
Everything looks wonderful, you guys.
Hey, Bill, what's the story with this wine?
Yeah, Bill, what are we drinking?
You tell me what you think, and I'll tell you what it is.
I think it's great.
Ernest and Julio Gallo present a very special Chardonnay. It's time for a change to Gallo.
Kmart's got a great price on Xerox antifreeze. There's a $1.50 mail-in rebate, too. This will make a great gift for Rita.
Who's Rita?
The car.
I thought Sheila's the car.
No, Sheila's the lawnmower.
Lucy wants to paint her room.
Again?
Chartreuse.
Let's get some GE soft whites. They'll make it easier to take.
These bulbs work great, but they don't work miracles.
You know, at these prices, you can afford to be more generous.
I'll buy that.
How do I make new improved KFC Extra Tasty Crispy so crispy outside and so juicy inside? The secret is a special KFC package. Any questions?
New improved Extra Tasty Crispy from KFC.
Ooh, darling, I need you so. Never gonna let you go.
Capture the ones you love without missing out on the fun yourself with a Sony Handycam, America's most popular camcorder.
In the battle of the quarterbacks, Brett Favre is winning that battle statistically right now. Vince Workman, that was the key play. Strong run by Workman. Sterling Sharpe comes up with the receiving touchdown, and the turnover did not hurt Green Bay. Green Bay on top by the score of 7-3. Sikahema. And Vi Sikahema with an excellent return. Boy, this guy is still dangerous. And George Kuntz comes up with the tackle. It's doubleheader day on CBS, highlighted by New Orleans visiting San Francisco. Jim Mora has the Saints ready to rumble, and with the Dome Patrol's leader, Ken Swilling, leading an awesome and ferocious defense. Now, Steve Young has more than stepped in for Joe Montana, and the 49ers are again considered to be the head of the class on both sides of the ball. And of course, we all know who that man is, Jerry Rice. This game will give the winner a leg up in the NFC West. That's coming up. On the ground, Byers running hard for the Eagles. And Byers picks up 4. Will bring up a 2nd and 6. Matt Brock on the stop. Boy, Kansas City out in front of Washington by 14-0. Boy, you know, that Kansas City team, you don't know which personality is going to come forth. They started off so great. Then he went even at 4-4, but they're licking their chops against Washington.
Well, they've got that big, powerful back running game, and the Washington Redskins have had some difficulty in stopping the run this year, so Kansas City might have the perfect offense to really defeat that Redskin defense.
2nd and 6 for the Eagles. Second quarter action, play action. Cunningham bootlegging. Throws it softly, incomplete. Intended receiver was Byers. And those kinds of plays, exactly what Coatside said he wanted to put in for Randall.
That was George Kuntz we saw on camera, number 53, whose job is to mirror Randall Cunningham. Randall rolled to the left. George Kuntz is right there. He's the fast cover guy and also the spy on Randall. Randall seems to be playing without a lot of fire and confidence right now. He was out there, could have run the ball, kind of had that short little pass. He needs to get pumped up and get his team pumped up.
3rd and 6. Eagles 2 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. Out of the shotgun. Cunningham with time. Drills it complete. And that is enough for the first down as Cunningham throws a 7-yard pass to Williams.
That was Chuck Cecil, JB, who came up with the big hit. You know, the Green Bay plays the kind of defense, especially with Chuck Cecil deep in the middle, where they like you to catch that little pass over the middle and come up and punish those receivers. Put them in the frame of mind where in the 4th quarter they may not want to make that catch.
On first down, Herschel Walker, and Walker looks to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by everybody.
Take your choice, huh?
Rich Kotite was saying, in playing this Green Bay team, and you look at them on film, they swarm to the ball. Gang tackling, swarming, emotional defensive team. That play, you know, exemplifies what I'm talking about. Herschel tackled by the defense.
And based on the spot, it's a 1-yard gain, making it 2nd and 9. 11:55 in counting. Left in the first half of play. Eagles trailing 7-3. Byers. A gain of 2 on the play. You know, we've called Chuck Cecil's name quite a bit so far, and his name was called quite a bit last week with some big hits. To take a look at Chuck Cecil last week against the Giants, and what a wicked hit applied to David Meggett. That was only one. Take a look at this one. This one was even stronger. Wow.
And it was the very next play. The very next play. 2 plays in a row against Dave Meggett.
3rd and 7. And Byers knocked out of bounds by Mitchell. And he's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down marker. So the Eagles will have to punt it away. You know, when you looked at those hits by Chuck Cecil, it was interesting to hear Meggett's response was, I didn't even feel those hits. I mean, I get hit harder joking around with the guys in the locker room. Chuck Cecil remarked, well, if that's the case, I don't want to be traded to the Giants because the locker room play is too rough.
Yeah, but it must be a rough locker room.
Eagles with the punt. And it takes a Green Bay roll.
Punt goes into the end zone. The Packers will take over first down on their own.
Packers ball when we come back.
For years, the Toyota truck has stood alone. No longer. Introducing the Toyota T100. Built from the same tough stuff as our compact, only bigger. With more room for 3 inside. And an 8-foot bed. With 4 feet between the wheel wells. The new Toyota T100. Now, when it comes to Toyota trucks, the difference is even bigger.
Upon learning Little Caesars is offering 2 pizzas for $5.99, the mind enters 5 stages. Shock, disbelief, confusion, denial, and finally, acceptance. Now let's watch the subject registering denial again in extreme slow motion.
2 medium pizzas with cheese and pepperoni or your favorite topping, all for $5.99. It's a toozy-doozy of a deal.
Toozy-doozy.
And for $1 more, crazy bread and crazy cheese.
Monday, Wood has a small problem.
You mean?
Little Elvis left the building.
But things are looking up.
98% of the time, we don't have to amputate.
Evening Shade, Monday.
Sellout crowd here at Milwaukee County Stadium, 56,000 strong, and Brett Favre playing impressively. 6 of 6, 57 yards, 1 touchdown.
He's playing very well. Also, he took some hits. There's Randall, who it seems is not emotionally in this game yet. He needs a little bit of fire. A little Brett Favre fire would probably help him. Big country boy, plays tough.
1st and 10 for the Packers from their own 20. And the handoff to Darrell Thompson, and Thompson takes it across the 25. Now, that was a play taken out of the page, if you will, a page taken out of the playbook of the San Francisco 49ers. That's about as close as you're going to come to a Statue of Liberty play.
That's that kind of wraparound draw, and that's Coach Mike Holmgren right there. That's an old Bill Walsh play. Quarterback drops back. The back looks like he's in pass protection. The ball kind of wraps around underneath him. That's Darrell Thompson, who they like to get in this game more. They feel that he could be their back of the future, but he has a tendency to fumble on occasion, and nothing makes Coach Holmgren madder than that.
2nd and 4. And Thompson wrapped up in the backfield that time, so good pursuit by that Eagles defense, and it's an actual loss of 3 on the play. Andy Harmon on the tackle. Take a look at Mike Holmgren. We were talking about taking a page out of that San Francisco playbook. You look at some of the other disciples of Bill Walsh and how they are doing, and overall, very, very nice job.
Dennis Green is doing well. Sam White started out well. We did one of his earlier games. They've been struggling down there in Tampa since then. There's Coach Mike Holmgren right there. Big fella, 6'5". Looks like a player himself.
And he was a quarterback who handed off to O.J. Simpson at USC. 3rd and 7, Favre. Complete. This one to Sterling Sharp for the 1st down. Brett Favre is 7 of 7. That a 16-yard pass play to Sterling Sharp. Finally stopped by John Booty.
The way that Green Bay wanted to attack the Eagles today was put Sharp in motion, run across the back, and then have these long crossing patterns across the field. Philadelphia Eagles, they double you, but they pass you off from linebacker to linebacker, and they get confused, and it creates holes in the defense. That was a hole it created. Nice pass, nice reception. Sterling Sharp is the man.
Ball at its own 39, 1st and 10. Favre drilling it complete for another 1st down. Brett Favre is on fire. That one to Jackie Harris, 8 of 8 for the young man from Kill, Mississippi.
Rich Kotite said he was afraid of this quarterback. He felt that Brett Favre was going to be a star in the NFL. He's big, he's strong, he's like a linebacker at the quarterback position. He's got a force of will and drive and dedication that inspires the men around him.
He's serving notice right now, 8 of 8, as I mentioned, for 85 yards. 1st and 10, ball at the 49 of the Eagles. 7:40 left in the 2nd quarter play. The handoff. And that looks like maybe a loss of 1 yard. The handoff to Darrell Thompson, tackled by Byron Evans. And Mike Holmgren did indicate that he wanted to get Darrell Thompson a bit more activity today, and thus far he's getting to play.
Well, Darrell Thompson, of course, was projected to be one of the great backs of this league. He was drafted 2nd behind Emmitt Smith, the great runner of the Dallas Cowboys. He hasn't had a chance to really gel in the league, and Coach Holmgren wants to give him an opportunity. They feel he may be the back of the future for the Green Bay Packers.
So Thompson out, Workman and Sidney in. Favre pumps, throws it complete to Workman. And Workman takes it to about the 46.
So Vince Workman. Take a look at the crossing patterns. We talked earlier about the crossing patterns. Crossing patterns that you're going to see underneath the Eagle linebackers. They get confused. He goes to the right. They get confused. He gets the reception.
3rd and 7 from the 46. Need to get to the 39 for the 1st down. And a slow draw again. Workman, 1st down. the second time that the Packers have run the slow draw, and it's worked. A 12-yard run by Vince Workman.
Right now, the Green Bay Packers have the Philadelphia Eagles off balance. They're not sure whether to rush the passer or stay back and guard against the draw. They have got to get to the passer. Otherwise, they can give up the big play against pass. That's the wraparound draw. You drop back and you kind of hand that ball in from the backside. Philadelphia is not sure quite what to do, whether to stay in their rush lanes and get to Favre or try to stop the draw.
1st and 10. Ball at the 35 of Philadelphia. Favre drills it complete again. And this one to the rookie, Robert Brooks, out of South Carolina. A gain of 4 on the play will bring up a 2nd and 6. You know, George, and you were explaining, and I'm just wondering, why is it that the slow draw, if you will, is working so well? Workman, 5 carries for 64 yards, and this the first half of play.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles have got to get pressure on the quarterback. Their defensive backfield is not considered one of the best in the business. It tends to give up the big play, and they're trying to get to Favre and opening up lanes in the middle.
2nd and 6. This is Harris in motion. Thompson, the ball carrier. Thompson with the first down. Darrell Thompson giving the Packers a good 1-2 punch at the running back spot, a 9-yard gain. And right now, you got to believe that Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, is scratching his head, clearly trying to figure out what's going on.
In addition to him scratching his head, there's the emotional impact of the Green Bay Packers running the ball down the field on the Philadelphia Eagles. They hang their hat on the fact that no one can run the ball on them. If you run the ball on them, that means you can do anything you want to them because they step on the field and say, no one will run against us.
1st and 10. Ball at the 21. Favre to pass again. Complete again to Sidney. And Harry Sidney still on his feet. Down to about the 1-yard line. Harry Sidney finally stopped by John Booty. A 20-yard gain on the play.
That's Harry Sidney. Was with Mike Holmgren in San Francisco. A steady, workman-like back. Good receiver, good runner. Has a Super Bowl ring. Knows this San Francisco offense. Nice pass over the middle. And a big back. Stays on his feet. Covers that football, looking for the goal line.
And Favre has plenty of reason to be happy. 11 of 11, 114 yards passing in the first half. 2 tight end formation. 1st and goal, ball at the 1. And the handoff to Workman. And he'll be stopped. And as you took a look at Favre raising his arms on the celebration, George, he was grabbing that stomach area again, and again he was hit awfully hard several plays back, and he's still feeling it. Hats off, great courage.
I believe that Brett Favre was hurt that first hit we saw in the first quarter. He's holding his left arm. He took a hit. We saw the hit.
And he took a shot there, not only in the left arm, but the ribs as he was grabbing it. 2nd and goal. Ball at the 1. On the ground. Touchdown, Packers.
Big block on that left side of the line. That's number 75, Ken Rutgers, and number 52, Frank Winters. They opened up the hole. Workman in a very workman-like fashion. No one touches him going into the end zone.
And Jackie puts the exclamation point on the 2nd rushing touchdown of the season for Workman. Packers in front comfortably.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a new synthetic oil. The rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec's unique molecular structure bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
In case you haven't discovered what makes the all-new Toyota Corolla all-new, here are some subtle hints. Well, maybe not so subtle. Introducing the all-new 1993 Toyota Corolla. Discover Corolla. Again.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
Many of golf's biggest and brightest stars compete when Greg Norman hosts the Franklin Fun Shark Shootout next weekend on CBS Sports.
Green Bay Packers continuing their emotional play from last week, an impressive performance against the Giants. As we take a look at Jim McMahon, might we see him? Randall Cunningham, only 5 of 11 for 32 yards.
He's only 5 of 11 for 32 yards, but in addition to that, he doesn't seem to have fired up this offense. Philadelphia needs a spark of some sort.
Vai-Sikahema tried to provide it as he takes it up just across the 20, tackled by Corey Harris. Eagles ball when we come back.
A look behind the scenes as sports and science converge, brought to you by AT&T. Adverse weather conditions can seriously affect the outcome of football games as well as the health of the players. Now science plays a role in ensuring better turf construction. Any outdoor sports turf begins with a gravel drain field that is topped with a sand-peat mixture. Tests performed on that mixture reveal its water drainage and water retention characteristics, factors that help determine the quality and safety of any field.
We chose AT&T because our 800 service is our front door. If it shuts down, we shut down. To us, a single 800 call could be worth thousands of dollars. If a customer dials our 800 number and can't get through, it's like telling them to take their business somewhere else. When you have competition like I do, you better be there for your customers.
For years, the Toyota truck has stood alone. No longer. Introducing the Toyota T100. Built from the same tough stuff as our compact, only bigger, with more room for 3 inside, and an 8-foot bed, with 4 feet between the wheel wells. Now, when it comes to Toyota trucks, the difference is even bigger.
14-3, Green Bay on top. As you take a look at Kotite and wonder, what is he thinking?
I think Richie Kotite right now is trying to determine whether he's going to stay with Randall Cunningham or go to Jim McMahon. This is the upcoming schedule. Giants, 49ers, Minnesota, Seattle, and Washington. They cannot afford to lose today. This is the easiest game of the next 6 games. Randall's not doing well. The offense is not doing well. I think he's thinking, do I have to go to Jim McMahon to get some spark in this Eagles offense?
The only breather in that schedule, of course, against Seattle. 1st and 10, Cunningham throws it complete to Vai-Sikahema as we approach the 2-minute warning of the first half. And the Eagles with little time to think.
Other laser printers have been playing leapfrog for years in a futile effort to catch up with the HP LaserJet. Now they're truly up against it. Hewlett-Packard introduces the HP LaserJet 4, a new generation, a new standard to reach for. Good luck, fellas. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
Everybody wants a battery that goes the distance, but you never know when they're about to run out of gas. Only Duracell has the Copper Top Battery Tester, so you can be sure your batteries will keep going down the road. You can't top the Copper Top.
Those smart folks at Magnavox have asked me to tell you about all their highly intelligent products in just 15 seconds. You must be joking. Impossible. No way. Don't be ridiculous. No, that's it. I quit.
Magnavox. Smart. Very smart.
Can't be champagne. I like it.
That's beautiful.
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
Find out the name of this, but
Don't be too obvious.
Sparkling, delicious. No champagne tastes like Vallatore.
Frankly, I think it tastes better than champagne.
You wouldn't happen to know the name of this, would you? Vallatore.
What's it for Vallatore?
Vallatore. 2 L's.
One sip says it all.
14-3, Green Bay on top. 2 minutes left in the first half. Philadelphia ball, 2nd and 3. As you take a look at Cunningham, and George, you've been remarking he doesn't look to have any spark. I mean, what specifically?
Well, it's an air of confidence about you. And on a lot of teams, believe me, not all teams, by the way, but on these two teams, the quarterback is the spark, and Randall's the guy that's got to make you believe he can make it happen. You know, he's not making me feel all that confident up here, so I don't believe he's making those guys feel that confident on the field.
McMahon did last week, sparking a lifeless offense to victory over the Raiders, 31-10. Draw to Herschel Walker, and Herschel Walker with the first down run. 10 yards gained on the play by Herschel Walker, tackled by Adrian White. 1st and 10, ball at the 38. Cunningham out of the shotgun with time, throws it complete. And up to the 45 goes Sekahima. A gain of 6 on the play will bring up a 2nd and 4. 1:25 and counting left in the first half of play. Randall looking, being patient, and throws it away. Good coverage by the Packers that time. Randall with no options nor any lanes to run in.
In addition, the Green Bay Packers are getting pretty good pressure with only 3 guys rushing. They've got 3 guys rushing. The Eagles have 5 guys blocking, so they shouldn't be able to get anywhere near the quarterback. And they've got, of course, the one guy, George Koontz, spying in case Randall were to run. So good defensive coverage by the DBs of Green Bay.
3rd and 4 from the 45. 1:14 left in the first half. Eagles trailing 14-3. Complete to Barnett, and Barnett has the first down and is out of bounds. 1:09 left in the first half. Eagles in Packer territory.
The Eagles have plenty of time. They're on the 48-yard line. A little bit of running, a little bit of passing here. They can use this clock up and put some points on the board.
Roy Green to the near side. Cunningham out of the shotgun. 1st and 10. Good protection, going for the home run ball. Incomplete. Good coverage by the Packers. Chuck Cecil back there along with Vinnie Clark. Intended receiver was Fred Barnett. And don't forget, coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from all of today's NFL action. That'll be coming your way from our New York studio at halftime. And Greg will certainly talk about what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing to the Washington Redskins as Washington continues to struggle. That and more coming up at halftime. 2nd and 10. Ball spotted at the 47. Cunningham to Walker. Trying to get out of bounds and does not. A gain of 6 on the play.
We've got an injury on the field, JB.
A down Packer.
Green Bay.
And we'll give you an update on the injury after this.
When you don't have to send your package overnight, you can save yourself a bundle.
What a difference a day makes.
2-day priority mail service
24 little hours.
from your post office. Send up to 2 pounds in just 2 days for just $2.90. That's right. That's some difference.
What a difference a day makes. We deliver for you.
Well, Cunningham, again, trying to get a little encouragement from the sidelines as he's talking with Rich Kotite. As we take a look at a down Green Bay Packer, we still don't know who it is as of yet, but he's being tended to. And Mike Holmgren. And George, again, I mentioned before how the Packers have been playing a lot more impressively than the 3-6 record. Really started to show some dividends last week against the Giants. You mentioned before the top of the show that really was an emotional boost for the entire team.
It is an emotional boost for the team, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that they've got a new defensive system. You know, they used to, that was Matt Brock, of course, getting up. He had a bad neck. He's been playing with a brace. I don't know if his injury has to do with his neck or his back, but he has been playing with a collar because he has had neck injuries this year. But to get back what I was saying is that Green Bay went from a 2-gap reading defense to an aggressive, slashing, attacking defense, and it's taken them a certain amount of time to become comfortable with it, and they are now.
3rd and 4. For the Eagles. Don Davey has come in to replace Matt Brock, as George Stark mentioned, had a neck burner from last week's game. Cunningham, nowhere to go. Swarm. Don Davey, who just came into the game, led the charge along with Tony Bennett, Johnny Holland, and company.
That's Tony Bennett, who got 3.5 sacks last week against the Giants, led that charge. He appeared to come right up the middle. There he is, Tony Bennett, coming into your screen, chasing Randall Cunningham to the right. He'll get at least half of that sack. He should have gotten the whole thing, because he's the one that flushed him.
2nd sack of the afternoon for the Packers. Fiegels. And an excellent job by the Eagles. Ball down inside the 10. 16 seconds left. A 38-yard punt by Fiegels. And the Packers will start at their own 9. We had a discussion with Randall Cunningham last night, asking him whether or not there would be any kind of, I guess, queasy feeling coming to play against a team that last year took him out for the entire season, specifically Bryce Pop, who hit him on that play opening game last season. And Cunningham began the long road to recovery. And Richie Kotite says he has come a long way since the injury, but Cunningham has been struggling here in the first half, and the Eagles go into the locker room trailing the Green Bay Packers by 11. Brett Favre, a sensational first half for Brett Favre, despite the injury to his rib. That's the end of the first half with the score. Green Bay 14, Philadelphia 3.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by your Toyota dealer, who invites you to see the big new Toyota T100 pickup, the wines of Ernest and Julio Gallo, and by HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
Come a long way to become a star in the National Football League. I remember those early years. Back then, 2 people who were always the most important to me, who were always my biggest fans, were my mother Mabel and my father Samuel. They were always there when I needed them. But then in 1981, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. The doctors did everything they could do. But before the year was out, she was gone. I felt I had lost everything in life. But I still had my father to hold on to. But then fate dealt the cruelest blow. In 1982, my father died from heart disease, and I was truly alone. That's why I want to see heart disease and cancer conquered. And you can be a part of that victory with me when you support the American Heart Association and the American Cancer Society through your local United Way campaign.
Your local United Way, helping where help is needed most.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
It says New Jersey Bell on the front.
Right.
It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you build a genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
Channel 10 News, Focus Report, Monday. Do you snore?
I snore?
Does your spouse snore?
I would like to take a pillow and put it over his head.
Sherry Bank reports on that noisy nocturnal nuisance and what you can do about it.
For 23 years you put up with his snoring? That's why he's my ex-husband.
But there are other alternatives. Monday at 5:30 and 11, medical reporter Sherry Bank shows you how you can stop snoring. Channel 10 News, where you're our focus.
When Bob borrowed a lawnmower, all he got was short grass. When Bob borrowed hedge clippers, all he got was nice shrubs. When Bob borrowed a ladder, all he got was red shutters. When Bob borrowed a hose, all he got was wet. But when Bob borrowed money, he got free banking services. The Mellon PSFS Smart Accounts. The package accounts for people who borrow as well as save.
The NFL Today Dockers Halftime Report is sponsored by Levi's Dockers. Nobody does color like Dockers.
And those of you who have been watching Philadelphia and Green Bay, welcome to our studios here in New York. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Terry Bradshaw. This game taking place in Milwaukee with the Packers leading the Eagles 14-3. It has not been a stellar first half for Randall Cunningham. Cunningham, 9 of 17 for 54 yards and sacked twice, including here in the final minute of the first half. The question is, with those kind of numbers and you're down 14-3, does Rich Kotite yank Randall Cunningham?
You know, I don't think he'll bench him. I think he'll let him go one more quarter. If the Packers pull away and Randall doesn't put some points on the board early in the third quarter, then I think he might make the switch. Don't forget, Greg, once again, there's a lot of pressure on Kotite, whether or not, if Cunningham plays poorly, whether or not he'll have the courage and be able to go for and pull him out of that game, especially after the response from Cunningham is, I don't want to look over my shoulder again.
All right, meanwhile, Brett Favre having an outstanding day, 11 out of 11, 114 yards and 1 touchdown. At Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, the Chiefs are enjoying an outstanding afternoon, 21-0 over the Washington Redskins. Mark Rippon having a tough time jump-starting his season, sacked near the goal line by number 90, Neil Smith. Meanwhile, here come the Chiefs. Christian Okoye from 2 yards out put Kansas City up 7-0, and then Dave Craig, we talked about him in the pregame.
Well, Dave Craig is a quarterback that's hot and cold, but now you're going to see the hot portion of deep crossing routes. You and I both love deep crossing routes. There's Barnett all the way across the field into that zone coverage. No one there to stop him into the end zone.
Redskins have been killing themselves with penalties, 11 of them for 65 yards so far. At Minnesota, the Vikings leading the Oilers 10-3 as they approach halftime at the Metrodome. The defense has scored yet another touchdown for the Vikings. In Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, the Steelers leading the Lions by a 10-7 count. Neil O'Donnell has thrown a touchdown pass in this one, and so has Eric Kramer. The difference is a field goal. In Cleveland, San Diego leading the Browns 7-0. Mike Tomczak had gone 5 games without throwing an interception. He's thrown 2 today. The Chargers lead at 7-0 in the second. In the Meadowlands, the Jets with a 10-0 lead over the Bengals. Head coach Bruce Coslet of the Jets against his former quarterback, Boomer Esiason. At Atlanta, the Falcons with a 10-7 lead on the Cardinals in the second. And at Indianapolis, the Colts and the Patriots are tied at 14. And the NFL Today continues here on CBS after this word from your local station.
In New York City, they do very well in school. The students? No, the custodians. They make more than the teachers. You're kidding. No, we're not. Watch 60 Minutes tonight.
It's a Wednesday mystery movie.
Chief, something bad's happened.
But a small town is terrorized by a sniper.
You didn't try to help him?
And a beautiful young girl is the target of an obsessed killer.
She's already on overload.
Can the police track her down before she becomes the next victim? Wednesday at 8, a special In the Heat of the Night.
This is CBS.
These days, 9 to 5 feels more like 5 to 9. Home cooking is as likely to come from a microwave as not. And sleeping late happens only in your dreams. And because life has changed, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield have changed. With new health plans that go far beyond our traditional coverage and new service that goes far beyond your expectations. Because today hardly resembles yesterday, there's a whole new blue to carry you through.
AT&T.
Channel 10 News, Focus Report, Monday. Before you call another appliance repairman, you'd better see this.
The easiest way to rip off people is an appliance repair.
Herb Denenberg investigates. Channel 10's undercover camera shows you how the repair business isn't always on the up and up. Monday at 11.
If you had 10 customers in a day, how many would you rip off?
All of them. You can't protect yourself.
Yes, you can. We'll show you how. Channel 10 News, where you're our focus. Real life behind the scenes of Northern Exposure, Monday at 11.
Welcome back to our New York studios, everyone. A reminder, this is a doubleheader day here on CBS. Still ahead, some of you will see the Bears against the Bucks. Most will see the Rams against the Cowboys or the Saints against the 49ers. We have reports on those two big games, beginning with Randy Cross in his old stomping grounds, Candlestick Park.
Here in San Francisco, let's look at it realistically. You don't have to hype this game. The 49ers and the Saints, every time they meet in the second meeting over the last 5-6 years, it seems the winner is the one that's going to win the division. And if you look at the standings in 1992, a lot's changed, hasn't it? No, not really. It's all really basically the same. And if we take a look back at years past, let's start in 1987. Morton Anderson's going to kick field goal number 5. The Saints are going to have their all-time best record at 12-3 and make their first trip to the playoffs. Little revenge the next year, though, because in 1988, late in the game, Joe Montana, does he throw it in? Nope. He's going to run it in. The 49ers go on. They win the division, and they win Super Bowl 23. If you look at this game objectively, you got to think a lot of hitting, a lot of defense, and real low scoring. I think it's probably the best game so far in 1992. That's a story here in San Francisco. Let's go down to Dan Fouts down in Dallas.
Thanks, Randy. The story here is that the Cowboys are back and the city of Dallas loves it. After just 3.5 seasons, this franchise has rebuilt itself to be the NFL's very best here in Week 11. And the memories of the glory 70s are back after a decade hiatus.
I used to watch them when they had, way back when they had Mel Renfro and all those guys. Now, it's doing real good. I like it.
Well, in Dallas, you can find all the weapons you need. Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Jay Novacek, and not to mention the league's #1 defense. But more importantly, in Dallas, the Cowboys are back as the social event of the city. Today's sellout crowd hopes to see Emmitt Smith become the first NFC back to go over 1,000 yards. And their #1 defense shoot down Jim Everett and the visiting LA Rams. That's the story here in Dallas. An exciting place to be, Greg.
All right, Dan, Saints-49ers game. What's the key to this one?
I just go right back to the first time these two teams met earlier in the year. The Saints committed 5 turnovers, and the 49ers won that game 16-10. Turnovers always have made the difference, or at least it seems as though they've made the difference between the 49ers and the Saints.
All right, Terry. Right now, it's time to send you back to the stadium and the game you're watching here on CBS.
All right, Greg, and back here at halftime in Milwaukee, the Green Bay Packers on top of the Eagles 14-3. And Randall Cunningham, quite candidly, has not looked very good in the first half. But on the other side of the coin, Brett Favre has looked awfully good. Didn't feel too good after this play early in the first quarter as Andy Harmon and Reggie White met at the quarterback, smashed him to the ground. And you can take a look at Favre with that left hand grabbing what appears to be his ribs. But a heroic effort as he stayed with it. Packers on top. Back in a moment.
In Europe, things happen on time.
right on schedule. Punctuality is the norm. And that makes Europe the ideal environment for UPS. Fact is, UPS has built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So when you have a shipment going there that has to be on time, use the delivery company whose punctuality is a time-honored tradition. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
She begged the courts to protect her from her husband's abuse.
You're late. I'm sorry.
Michelle Lee, James Farentino, Cicely Tyson, When No One Would Listen, tonight.
If you thought our last story was shocking,
Seatbelts ever save lives, not to ruin them.
well, fasten your seatbelts again.
We're going to let the people know the real truth.
The problem hasn't gotten any better. And what's worse, the government still says everything's fine. Wait till you see what we've uncovered now. Street Stories with Ed Bradley, Thursday.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 27. And by McDonald's, what you want is what you get, guaranteed at McDonald's today.
Back here in Milwaukee as we get set for the second half, Randall Cunningham 9 of 17 for 59 yards, and George Stark has mentioned not a very inspiring first half. As you take a look at Don Mikowski, who has taken his jacket off and has been warming up, we have not been able to get a definitive report from Green Bay about the condition of Brett Favre, but it didn't take a mental giant to see that he was hurt in the first half. We suspect ribs, and Don Mikowski is warming up as a result.
You have Don, Don Mikowski, as we see on camera, is warming up. Quarterbacks, of course, like to stay, especially when you've got the lead. There's Brett Favre right there. I think unless he was shot dead, he's going to play this second half. He's playing the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got the lead. He's 11 for 11. And I don't think wild horses could drag him off this football field. Somehow the hurts don't hurt quite as much when you got the lead and you're 11 for 11.
And George, let me ask you very candidly then, at what point do you think Richie Kotite would make a decision to pull Randall Cunningham out? He told you at the top of the show that he'll do anything to win, whatever that took.
I think that Richie Kotite will give Randall one series, at the most two, but probably just one series. He can't afford to fall too far behind. He may need a whole half to get back in this ball game and have his defense hold Green Bay. I don't think he's going to give Randall a lot of time.
Edgar Bennett started from his own 6, and Edgar Bennett with a strong run for the Packers as he takes it up to about the 37-yard line. Finally tackled and pushed out of bounds by William Thomas. Excellent return by Bennett, the rookie out of Florida State. And you take a look at Brett Favre, as you mentioned, George Stark, it would take a wild herd of horses to take him out of this game.
Absolutely. You're winning, you're beating the Eagles, you're staying.
You take a look at the numbers, all in favor of Green Bay, and that's why the score is 14-3. First and 10 for the Packers. Ball at the 38. On the ground, Darrell Thompson. And a flag on the play as Thompson runs into a wall of Eagles. A gain of only 1 by Darrell Thompson. And it looks like, from what we're hearing from down on the field, that Darrell Thompson will get most of the work the rest of the way, as Vince Workman is out of the game with a shoulder injury. And that certainly hurts, because Workman, a very strong first half, 7 carries for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. So Darrell Thompson, who had a quad problem 2 weeks into the competition, re-injured it the week before the Detroit game, and when it tightened up there, you take a look at Workman now in Civvies. Harris in motion. And Thompson trying to make something out of it with the spin move as he hurls ahead for about 2. William Thomas on the tackle.
That last play prior to this one, Green Bay was in a 2 tight end, 1 back offense, and they ran a play near and dear to the Washington Redskins, the counter gap. Penalty on the play, but now they've come back and they're running the ball again. They're thinking, we've got the lead, we're going to try to run the ball. We've run it effectively in the first half. Time of possession, field possession, and ball control.
2nd and 18. Ball marked at the 30. And the slow draw again. And Harry Sidney runs it ahead. We'll see where they spot the ball. 8-yard gain on the play. And is it close enough for a measurement? And that's the 3rd time that the Packers have gone to the slow draw.
Well, Green Bay has been successful with that play. And the Eagles cannot say as a team that they've been surprised by it now. They've seen it 3 times. Every time it's gone for good yardage. They're going to have to stop the draw, among other things.
3rd and 10. Should have been caught in and out of the hands of Kendrick Taylor, and that was a first down pass dropped.
Brett Favre rolled out on this play. His offensive line has bunched the whole Eagles defensive line together. You can see them on the right of your screen. He's out there all by himself. Delivers the pass, nice throw. Unfortunately, Kendrick Taylor couldn't hold on to the ball, but good pass blocking by his offensive line. They just bunched up the whole Eagle defense.
Ryan Wagner on for his first punt, having replaced Paul McJulian, who was cut last week. Sikahema. And Sikahema with maybe about 5-6 yards on a return, a 44-yard punt, 5-yard return. Decent hang time of 4.1. So Cunningham will go at it again, and we'll see, George, if in fact you think an inept first series might be reason enough to pull him out. The numbers tell the story right there, and the Eagles have not had good starting field position but once. Sherman. Now, we thought we might see Heath Sherman a lot more in the first half, but then again, there weren't many good opportunities to put him in, as Richie Kotite said, mostly in 3rd down and short situations and goal line situations would he be in.
Well, Heath Sherman has been described by Richie Kotite as running like a bowling ball. He runs low to the ground. He's going to be your short yardage running back, your goal line running back, your 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 running back, and they haven't been in those circumstances.
Cunningham completes it to Maurice Johnson, and Maurice Johnson is tripped up and lands at about the 26. Ryan Noble with a tackle. Ryan Noble suffered a back injury 3 weeks ago, actually back contusions, and said there was no way he wasn't going to play today.
We saw him in practice this week, and he was very, very stiff, and there was some concern about him playing today, but you're right. He said he had to play against the Philadelphia Eagles.
3rd and 6 from the 27. And it's complete, and for the first down. So Randall Cunningham finds Roy Green, the veteran of 14 years in the league. A gain of 10 on the play.
With Green Bay playing this kind of defense, they're only rushing 3 guys. The Eagles have 5 offensive linemen. Those 3 guys should never, ever get near the quarterback. That being the case, Randall Cunningham should have plenty of time to deliver the ball downfield. Given enough time, you should always be able to find an open receiver. The Eagles should win this contest if Green Bay continues to play with just 3 guys rushing.
10:35 left in the 3rd period of play. Eagles trailing 14-3. Cunningham and Brian Noble with the sack. 2nd sack of the season for Brian Noble. And that is number 3 of Cunningham today.
You know, in the past, the pressure was always over Anton Davis, number 78. Not the case. Brian Noble came right up the middle, and it's a sack. The Eagles are not giving Randall Cunningham, well, in that particular case, he didn't have time. In past, he's had some time, but this offensive line should be able to block those guys. There aren't that many guys coming. Good defensive scheme by Green Bay to this point.
2nd and 20. Robert Brown may be caught for offsides. Drop. Intended receiver was Pat Beach. But there was a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is.
It appeared to be defense offside encroachment, which of course means that you have a free play on offense.
Repeat, 2nd down.
That gives you a free play on offense. It would have been nice had Pat Beach been able to hold on to that football, but he didn't. The Eagles, of course, pick up 5 yards, but the downfield pass would have been superior.
It was Brian Noble, who we mentioned before, said he would not be kept out of this game despite the back contusion. And some 3 weeks ago, we take a look at the play against the Bears. And Brian Noble, always in the thick of things. You see him right there, number 91, and take a look at that head being bent back to live action. And again, Roy Green with the pass reception from Cunningham for the first down. Roy Green still showing he's got what it takes, and you know this guy all too well. Boy, did he cause the Redskins a lot of problems.
Boy, Roy Green has been around a long time, maybe 100 years. If not 100, probably at least 50, because he was playing when I first started, and I played 13 and retired for 7. So Roy Green, he's a veteran. He's been there. He runs good routes, and he knows what it takes to win. Maybe he can get a little spark on offense for those Eagles.
Crisp routes indeed. That was a 25-yard pass play, 1st and 10. Sherman, the ball carrier, and Sherman has nowhere to go. There was a loss of 1 on the play. Robert Brown, the veteran, in there on the stop as well.
You know, Robert Brown has been around a long time, and Ray Rhodes says that while he's not flashy, I mean, he certainly is durable. He never misses practice. He works out every day. He's got 101 consecutive games. He feels that no one can run the ball his side. He may not be the quickest upfield pass rusher, but he certainly is in the game to stuff the run. He did that time.
11th year veteran out of Virginia Tech. 2nd and 11. Noble was blitzing. Cunningham takes off. And Cunningham has the first down by a yard, knocked out of bounds, and there is a flag. Now that would create for some fisticuffs on the sidelines. George Cooks was the guy tackling him late that time. Here's Jerry Austin.
At the end of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 53, 15 yards, first down.
And that's the guy you were mentioning, George, who has the responsibility of spying on Randall, and a little too aggressive that time.
You know, sometimes football players can get a little rowdy and they get a little emotional, and a fight could break out. What's especially scary about this stadium, of course, is it's the only stadium in the NFL where both teams are on the same side of the field. So conceivably, if you have a bench clearing brawl, they don't have to go very far. They're only 5 feet from each other.
In the same neighborhood.
First down.
Somehow I think I might take the Philly players in that. 1st and 10 with the penalty, ball marked at the 20 of Green Bay. And Walker running hard for about 3. And George Stark, just to underscore your point, there's a shot of the sidelines here. This is, as you mentioned before, a baseball stadium, the home of the Milwaukee Brewers. Both sidelines, both benches on the same sidelines. As a matter of fact, we also saw a shot of the Philadelphia benches. They're white versus the benches you see for Green Bay. Those benches, heated benches brought in by Philadelphia.
Those are heated benches, yeah. They shipped them from the East Coast. The Philly guys get to sit on nice warm benches. The Green Bay guys got the sort of cold wood benches, which is working to their advantage today.
2nd and 7. Sherman, big hole. Touchdown, Eagles. Heath Sherman. Has he paid dividends? 2nd rushing touchdown of the season for Heath Sherman, a 17-yard scamper.
Last week he had a 30-yard scamper up the middle, very similar versus the Raiders. could be the back that provides the spark that the Eagles needed today. They needed something to come out of that drive. They got it. Randall made a big play to the right. Heath Sherman up the middle, very reminiscent of his run last week versus the Raiders.
Last week, Heath Sherman had his first rushing touchdown in nearly 2 years, and the point after is good. So Kotite certainly will keep that young man, Heath Sherman, into the game plan a lot more.
Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
What's wrong with this Big Mac Extra Value meal? At $2.99 with fries and a Coke Classic, it's definitely not the price. Look closer. Do you see it? That sesame seed. It's upside down. I am sorry.
The affordable Canon CJ10. The power of color is yours.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Ooh, come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Miller Lite, I like it like that.
When you're calling for great taste and a less filling beer, one beer's made to order. Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Ooh, I like it like that. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Ooh, come on.
8-0.
Philadelphia back into it now, 14-10. Green Bay on top, and Heath Sherman, the youngest of 5 children and baby brother, capping off a 9-play, 77-yard drive with a 17-yard touchdown run. And Herschel Walker, have not heard much from him since early.
Well, Herschel started out good. He had a couple runs in the first quarter, but he's been awfully quiet since then. Heath Sherman, in talking with him, he said he runs low to the ground. He's short anyway, kind of hides in there underneath those legs of those big offensive linemen. And when he sees a hole, makes a break, that's what he did, touchdown.
His running style is described almost as crawling. He runs so low to the ground, but a smart move, stand behind those big blockers.
Absolutely. Can't get hit that way.
From the 4, Bennett. And Edgar Bennett continues pumping those legs to pick up a couple of extra. It'll be Green Bay ball with 7:08 left in a third when we come back.
Official timeout.
From the start to be the one great tasting beer that's less filling. Miller Lite's everything you want a beer to be. I didn't think she'd come. I know she'd come. Yeah.
Miller Lite, I like it like that. Come on!
Riding fist bumps is not good for my lunch. Bouncing my...
Every hour, we select a Chevy Cavalier to take a memorable trip at the factory over a very sophisticated bumpy road. We call it the Squeak and Rattle Track, and it's one man's job to test Cavaliers and find problems before they get to you. It's a rough job, but someone's got to do it. Surprised that Chevy has a road, a test, and a man like this? You shouldn't be. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
Take the heat out of shaving. Soothe your razor burn with post-shave conditioning hydrogel from Old Spice. Because when you've got proof, who needs promises?
It's gone. But it isn't.
Here's strong medicine in a cough drop. Extra strength Vicks. With Vicks Vapor Medicine so effective, it'll relieve your cough and help your scratchy throat and stuffy nose feel better, even after the drop is gone.
America's most infamous serial killers.
There's no stopping this guy.
Have all been men until now.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Based on the true story, Gene Smart in Overkill, Tuesday.
Milwaukee County Stadium, some 106 miles south of Green Bay, 96 miles north of Chicago. Folks, it's in cold territory, and Brett Favre, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers from Kill, Mississippi, I recall him telling us during training camp he was so cold he had to wear 3 warm-up suits. He hasn't seen the worst yet. Right now, he's been warm out there on the field, though. Superb play. Farr throws it complete to Jackie Harris, and Harris looks to have run for the first down. Indeed he has, and Jackie Harris making up for the fumble in the first half, and boy, he has really been playing well. And you know, we talked about whether or not the longtime veteran Ed West, 9th-year player out of Auburn, really found it difficult to accept that Harris has been elevated to a starter and playing so well. He says, no way, he's my biggest supporter.
Well, Ed West has always been primarily a blocker, and he's been around a long time. He hasn't been on a championship team. He feels that Jackie Harris can be one of the key elements in making this Green Bay Packer team a playoff team, and I believe he's right.
First and 10 from the 34. Farr complete to Harris again, and there's a flag on the play, and Jackie Harris gets it up about a half a yard shy of the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it and what the infraction is.
Offensive pass interference, number 86, 10 yards, repeat, first down.
And that is on the veteran tight end we were just talking about, Ed West.
You know, speaking of all the passes that Jackie Harris has caught today and may still catch, Sterling Sharp was somewhat jealous about the Eagle game, knowing that the Eagles would kind of double and triple Sterling Sharp. He said Jackie may get 30 passes today. And I think he's absolutely right. The tight end, first of all, is a primary receiver in Mike Holmgren's pass offense, but also the Eagles try to take away your best weapon. They feel it's Sterling Sharp. That opens up Jackie Harris to catch a lot of balls today.
First and 20. Ball pushed back to the 24, and Brett Favre, seeing something he doesn't like, calls for a timeout as he trots over to talk it over with Mike Holmgren. First timeout, that is, for the Packers, leaving them with 2. Philadelphia has 3.
Imagine a V8 engine that's incredibly powerful, yet easy to maintain. Imagine a 5-speed automatic that's responsive, yet seamlessly smooth. Imagine a luxurious sedan that can actually help make you a better driver. Introducing the BMW 740iL, a car that will have the competition playing catch-up once again. Imagine that. Interpretation of the original.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going and...
Even when a friend leaves them.
You dated Ike?
Love.
Every Tuesday we look through his telescope.
And war.
And the rest ain't none of your business.
Goes on. A special Love and War Monday.
Only a 4-point difference in the ball game here. Green Bay on top 14-10 over Philadelphia. And the Philadelphia Eagles know that Sterling Sharp, as they said coming into the game, 70% of the Packer offense. And you can see if he averages 7 catches a game, he will surpass Art Monk's single season reception record of 106. He would have 108. Farr pumping. Throws it complete to Jackie Harris. And Jackie Harris hauls it in down at about the 39. 16 regained on a play. The Packers need to get to about the 44 for a first down. 6 catches, 73 yards on the afternoon for Jackie Harris, and you take a look at his numbers coming into the game, and you can see that he's among the league leaders. Very, very productive indeed.
Well, they had to have a big day today from Jackie Harris, and he certainly is answering that call. Brett Favre delivering the ball very well, stepped up.
And that Sharp that you saw on that list wasn't Sterling Sharp, but Shannon Sharp, his brother. Far to Harry Sidney, who dropped it. Came a little quicker than Sidney was expecting. Seth Joyner right there on the coverage.
Once again, Brett Favre got the ball there. I think you're right, JB, that the ball came so quickly that Harry Sidney simply misjudged it and started to run prior to catching the ball. That's Tootie Roberts pushing the big guy out of the play. Up to me.
I know we're both smiling as we look at Tootie Roberts.
Tootie Roberts.
Who indeed is a large individual and carries a pretty big set of grocery bags.
Well, Tootie Roberts versus Reggie White. You got about 800 pounds of beef right there.
3rd and 4. Favre completes to Thompson. And Thompson looks with that second effort to have gotten the first down. William Thomas on the tackle. Good second effort. And George, a graphic illustration of the emotion you're saying that had been lacking, at least prior to that touchdown drive of the Eagles.
Well, on second effort, you know, Brett Favre, I believe, is hurt. It looks like he's holding his ribs. When you're playing with a guy that's hurt, how can you not play harder? You know, you see him struggling. He's holding his ribs. He's holding his arms. He's delivering the ball. It makes you play harder. You've got to play up to the standard that he's created, and that's what's happening in this Green Bay offense.
4:30 left in the third quarter play. Packers on top 14-10. 1st and 10. Ball at its own 45. Thompson. Darrell Thompson running hard across midfield. 6-yard run by Darrell Thompson as he comes up limping just a bit. And keep in mind, Vince Workman, who had 7 carries for 65 yards in the first half, is out with a shoulder injury. Darrell Thompson carrying the workload right now in the second half. There's Vince Workman in the warm-up outfit. And boy, was he running hard. You see him in that sling there, the shoulder injury.
Mike Holmgren is running that classic Bill Walsh offense now, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. A lot of 5-yard plays, 6-yard plays. Use the clock, hold on to the ball.
2nd and 4. Packers looking to get to the 45 for the first down. This is Thompson, and Thompson looks to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard loss. We'll see where they spot it. Mike Golick, 7th-year player out of Notre Dame, on the stop. And George, I know you love the line play. We've been talking about Tootie Robbins, and he's got a nice battle going with another superb guy, Reggie White.
Well, they're running this ball to the right. That's Tootie Robbins in the middle of your screen, blocking on Reggie White. You got about 305 pounds, blocking 325 pounds. A tough 1 yard.
Now, Tootie had that hand on the backside of that number there, and that's a little too big a hand to hide.
That's okay. That's all right. No problem with that.
Oh, only because it wasn't called.
No flag. No, you didn't do it. They don't go flag on you. You didn't do it.
3rd and 5. Thompson sweeping to the left. First down run by Darrell Thompson and more. Darrell Thompson inside the 20 of Philadelphia.
Another big play. That's what Green Bay was trying to do to the Eagles, and what the Eagles said they could not give up. They could not give up the big play. We've already seen a couple. We've seen another. This is a misdirection play. See, Green Bay, it looks like they're going to run to the right. They don't. It's a sweep to the left. A one-man, one-blocker sweep. Gets around that corner. And Darrell Thompson is off to the races.
A lot of credit to Andy Harmon at nearly 270 pounds on the stop that time. A 33-yard run by Darrell Thompson. Ball at the 17, 1st and 10. A bootleg by Favre. Pump. Intercepted by William Thomas. So Brett Favre throws his 7th interception of the season. William Thomas coming up with his first pick of the season.
That's a big play for the Eagles. They needed to do something to stop that drive. This is a situation where you just throw the ball to a guy that's not open. He tried to force it in there. I think that play, had Brett Favre not been hurt, he could have run that ball that time. There was room to get downfield.
It seems Europeans have a passion for certain things American. And one of them happens to be the reliable, efficient delivery of a certain American delivery company, UPS. Fact is, we've built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So next time you need something shipped there, use the outfit Europeans find, well, so fashionable. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
Ooh, darling, I need you so. Never gonna let you go.
Capture the ones you love without missing out on the fun yourself with a Sony Handycam, America's most popular camcorder.
Rust. What it can do to the outside of your car, weak, neglected antifreeze can do to the inside. You need Prestone. No matter what happens to the outside, Prestone protects the inside. Prestone stops the rust that stops your car.
You're looking at a small miracle. It's called an electronic twin-panel sunroof. It's a piece of automotive technology unlike any you've ever seen before. But then, so is this. Introducing the BMW 525i Touring. Lease a BMW 525i Touring for under $500 a month.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
William Thomas coming up with his first career interception. And the Eagles start at 1st and 10. And the handoff on the ground. And their version of the slow draw as Heath Sherman was called into service, but only a 2-yard gain. And again, the last interception that Bud Carson certainly had to be pleased with, picked off by William Thomas.
On that last play, this is the tight end that Brett wants to get coming across the field. He's trying to get a long crossing route because those linebackers tend to get confused. He never got open. William Thomas stepped in front of the pass, made the interception.
Back to live action, 2nd and 8. Randall Cunningham dangerously close to the end zone, going up top, looking for Williams. And a superb play again by Terrell Buckley. The little fellow playing a lot bigger than he is.
Terrell Buckley may not be the biggest guy in the world. He may have difficulty stopping the run. They say he's not that physical toward those pulling guards that come out, but one thing he does have is speed and leaping ability. Randall's got plenty of time. He rolls out to the right, delivers a beautiful pass, probably 50 yards downfield, but Terrell Buckley, the one thing we know he does have is speed and athletic ability. He displays it right there.
He said he had his best week of practice last week. Mike Holmgren saying that. 3rd and 8. Eagles 5 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. Complete to Walker. Well shy of the 1st down. Nice stand and nice tackle by Johnny Holland. It's enthusiastic here, and I'm sure in Kansas City, as Greg Gumbel will tell us.
All right, JB, at Arrowhead Stadium, a fake punt kept the Redskins' drive alive, and then Ricky Urbans turned the corner from 5 yards out, and Washington is on the board. 28-7 Kansas City in the 3rd, JB.
All right, Greg, and Ricky Urbans was certainly looking to break out of a bit of a slump. That might be a minor breakout for him. Terrell Buckley pushed back to the 38, looking for some room. And Terrell Buckley, the 2nd leading punt returner in the NFC, with the 4-yard return of that 47-yard punt.
Imagine a V8 engine that's incredibly powerful, yet easy to maintain. Imagine a 5-speed automatic that's responsive, yet seamlessly smooth. Imagine a luxurious sedan that can actually help make you a better driver. Introducing the BMW 740iL, a car that will have the competition playing catch-up once again. Imagine that.
you ever thought about wearing shoes?
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Ooh, come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Miller Lite, I like it like that.
When you're calling for great taste and a less filling beer, one beer's made to order. Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Ooh, I like it like that. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Ooh, come on.
Packers on top of the Eagles 14-10. Third quarter action, 21 seconds left as we take a look at Mike Holmgren, who saw his squad last week play the Giants, as you mentioned, George Stark, toe-to-toe. Trailing 13-7 late into the game. The game was actually a lot closer than that 27-7 final score in favor of the Giants.
It was 13-7, and then Brett Favre, who prior to that had the lowest interception average, I think, in the NFL. I'm sure he had the lowest. He threw 3 interceptions. The Giants turned him into scores, and it ended up being a blowout. They have to maintain this level of intensity through the fourth quarter.
On first down, Favre throws it complete. And it's caught. What a nifty grab by Jackie Harris, pulling in a real tough one as he was swarmed defensively. As we wind down toward the end of the third quarter, 7 catches for 78 yards on the afternoon for Jackie Harris. And boy, is he having himself a nice afternoon. So that's the end of the third quarter with
Bighorn.
And you feel responsible?
There was this door in our...
Bob borrowed a hose, all he got was wet. But when
past several hours, when the showers passed the state's capital, the visibility briefly lowered under 2 miles and the wind shifted to the northwest with a gust of 30 at Harrisburg. Those showers are expected to reach the Delaware River and then into southern New Jersey. Now, most of the precipitation is evaporating before reaching the ground, but a brief period of lowering visibility and a gust to perhaps 25 is possible, especially...
I always go to the shopping center 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
I want to climb a mountain, but I don't live there. I need a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
He keeps telling me that it's dangerous for me to...
Retirement with the MetLife annuity.
Feel quality, and I don't want to mortgage my house to get it. So, what do you got?
The Nissan Pathfinder Special Lease Program starting at $299 a month. Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car.
Real life behind the scenes of Northern Exposure, Monday at 11.
Packer fans have had plenty to chew on as they take a look as the start of the fourth quarter gets underway. Packers on top 14-10.
Clinton Bush, Sterling Sharp.
I love it.
Sterling for president.
2nd and 4. And Favre wisely runs out of bounds. And again, this kid, talk about a red badge of courage, playing with those bruised ribs. And again, we still have yet to get a definitive report from the Green Bay staff, but it's clear that he is really playing heroically with the injured ribs.
I think Brett Favre learned his lesson from throwing that interception at the other end of the field, that there was nobody open. Don't throw the ball. You've got the lead. Best run it out of bounds or throw it out of bounds. Don't deliver the ball if it's in a questionable situation. I'm sure that's what Coach Mike Holmgren told him when he went to the sideline.
A gain of 1 brings up a 3rd and 3. Packers 5 of 6 on 3rd down conversions to Sterling Sharp. Make it 6 of 7. First down by Sterling Sharp. Mike Golick on the tackle. Despite the double team. Now, we talked with Mike Holmgren about the difference between Sterling Sharp and Jerry Rice, of course, whom he's got some familiarity with. two different kind of receivers, but he says this guy Sharp certainly needs to be recognized as one of the league best.
Different running styles. Jerry is the classic, executes every route perfectly. His breaks are always right. Sterling Sharp, not quite as perfect in terms of routes, but very big, very strong. Take a look at the graphic here. He's ahead of Max McGee, moving up the Packers' all-time receiving list.
On the ground, and what a hit that time. My goodness. Clyde Simmons flattened Darrell Thompson, and I know Thompson's trying to get up like he's not hurt, but you know his bell was rung that time.
When you get hurt, you got to get up and pretend you're not hurt. You can't let the defensive guys think they've gotten to you. Even when you don't want to smile, you got to give them a little smile. Even when you're crying inside, you're smiling on the outside.
Well, he's crying on the inside. You can best believe Clyde Simmons throwing that 280 around. 2nd and 12. Harris in motion. Floater that time intended for Jackie Harris, but deflected as Seth Joyner was applying some pressure. Up next here on CBS, it's the second half of our doubleheader action featuring the LA Rams against the 8-1 Dallas Cowboys. Battle for tops in the NFC West between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers, or the Chicago Bears facing the Tampa Bay Bucks. Coming up next here on CBS. 3rd and 12. Complete to Harris for the first down. Packers are now 7 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Wes Hopkins with the tackle. Jackie Harris continuing to do the job. 8 catches for 95 yards.
Brett Favre's obligation is to read the defense first. He sees that these guys are in zones, and this is a 2-deep zone. He knows he's going to have an opening right in here, and that's why he just drops back, delivers the ball, reception. It's a clear case of a quarterback pre-reading. He reads downfield, 2-deep zone. He knows his holes in the middle, delivers the football. He told us that's what Coach Mike Holmgren has taught him. Read the defense, deliver the ball.
On 1st down, the ball carrier is Darrell Thompson, as Thompson runs off to the right for about 2. Brett Favre really doing a sensational job, and Jackie Harris, his favorite receiver today, taking pressure off of Sterling Sharp. I mentioned Jackie Harris, 8 catches for 95 yards. Last week, Harris had a career-high 9 catches for 87 yards.
Philly is doubling the outside receivers, leaving that middle open for Jackie Harris.
2nd and 8. Ball at the 22. 11:36 left in the game. Packers on top by 4. Favre drills it. Intended receiver Jackie Harris again. William Thomas right there on the coverage. And Richie Kotite speaks volumes of praise for William Thomas. Very quick, undersized guy, but he says he's a good coverage guy with excellent instincts.
You know, we speak of Jackie Harris having a good day and Brett Favre delivering the ball well, which he certainly is, and reading that Eagle defense well. But the offensive line is keeping those Eagle defenders off him, giving him time to do that.
And the Eagle defense has been spending an awful lot of time on the field today. 3rd and 5. Complete for the first down to Sterling Sharp inside the 5. Rich Miano with the stop.
Once again, good line protection. Take a look at it. That's Brett Favre in the middle of your screen, dropping back. The pocket pushes those ends to the outside. He steps up, delivers the ball low to the ground so that the backfield, the defensive back, has no opportunity to intercept the ball or hurt his receiver. The guy goes down, catching the ball. That's Sterling Sharp hitting the ground, protecting his body.
1st and goal from the 3. Play action. Thompson, touchdown, Packers.
big drive for the young man from Mississippi. Nicely executed plays. When it works well, it looks so easy. Of course, it's not. But right now, you'd have to say that the Green Bay Packers, with Brett Favre, are executing perfectly Mike Holmgren's offense.
First receiving touchdown of the season for Thompson. Jackie on for the point after. And the Packers expand their lead over the Philadelphia Eagles. The score 21-10, Favre to Thompson.
Can a razor cut your beard below the skin without the blades touching your face? It can if it's a Norelco. Because inside the floating heads, our lift and cut system lifts the hair so when it's cut, it can drop below skin level without the blades touching your face. Are you shaving this incredibly close and comfortable? You are when you shave with Norelco. Norelco, we make close comfortable.
In traffic, you encounter windows of opportunity, which is why we gave the Mercedes-Benz 400e a V8 engine. Right now, Mercedes is offering 2% APR financing on the 400e and other selected models. A window of opportunity that bears a striking resemblance to those you find in traffic. For financing details, see your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
We need a break.
We need a break.
A McDonald's break.
Yeah, a Big Mac.
Fries.
Yeah, large fries.
An ice-cold medium Coke Classic.
Oh, give me a break.
Everything, all of it right now, just $2.99.
$2.99 for all that?
Are we getting a break?
Yes.
I get a Big Mac sandwich, large fries, and a medium Coke, all for just $2.99? That's incredible.
Extra value meals. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
This game summary is sponsored by McDonald's.
Brett Favre continuing his superb play this afternoon. Workman was outstanding in the first half. He's out. Sterling Sharp outstanding both halves. And the Packers in front of the Eagles. 21-10 and a short kick. Sekahima taking it from the 23. And Tim Houck along with Carl Carter. And Bud Carson.
Not a
long day.
Looking at the touchdown again, notice that the defensive backs and linebackers are offset to the weak side where the backs who catch the ball are on the strong side. They had no opportunity to get over there and make that play. Poor defensive position, good call on offense, threw the ball to the right fellow.
10:28 left in the game. Cunningham still at the helm, 1st and 10 from the 24. To Sherman. Heath Sherman, 1st down. Heath Sherman could be gone. Roland Mitchell can't get him in time. Touchdown, Philadelphia Eagles. A 75-yard run after the catch by Heath Sherman.
Heath Sherman, the bowling ball is rolling.
And that quickly, Philadelphia tightens it up.
How quickly things can turn about. Heath Sherman, the running back that's supposed to be the short yardage guy, the 3rd and 2 guy, the 4th and 1 guy, has turned out to be the most successful runner from scrimmage today for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And the point after is good. So the Eagles have cut the Packers' lead with that 75-yard run, a career long for Heath Sherman.
I saw those lights, and even though I was only 5, I knew something terrible had happened. First, I saw the cars. They were, I don't know, mangled. My father told me not to look, but I had to. I remember seeing this little boy. We made eye contact. I could see the fear in his eyes. It's something I'll never forget. No, I don't drive a Mercedes to impress my friends.
Now, all over the world, the
sisters and mothers and best friends waiting to hear from you can hear from you for a lot less. Introducing the AT&T Special Country Plan. Save 15%. It's easy. There's no monthly fee. Just call right now and tell us your one special international country and start saving to everyone in it every hour of every day. We'll always be there to make calling more affordable.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the year. So bring your good time and your laughter too.
Celebrate life with Eden Rock. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, builder of fine automobiles since 1886. Norelco, patented lift and cut shavers. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, the special delivery company.
Packer faithful have plenty to cheer about until that 75-yard run by Heath Sherman after the pass, the screen pass from Randall Cunningham. His previous career long had been 37 yards. And it's a 21-17 ball game. 10-13 left in the game. James Brown along with George Stark. Happy to have you along. We've got a ball game here. Ruzick with the foot into it. Corey Harris from the 4. And Harris is hit hard and smashed. Give the credit to number 55, Ken Rose, with a solid hit.
Let's take another look at the screen pass, the touchdown. That's Heath Sherman. He's lined up on the right. The quarterback's going to drop back. He will pretend that he's pass blocking. Then he kind of slips out. He's got two offensive linemen in front of him. The center makes a great block. The offensive guard throws his body, ties up Buckley. That's all you have to do. Play action. You got two linemen out there. They both execute a block. The running back is there. Touchdown. Nice play.
First and 10 for the Packers from the 12. Farr drills it complete to Sharp for the first down. Sharp trying to break the tackle of Wes Hopkins, but Hopkins drops him. And a flag on the play, maybe a face mask.
Personal foul, tackling by the face mask. Number 58, 15 yards, first down.
That means it's intentional, JB. You have the inadvertent grasp of the face mask, which of course is 5 yards. Then you have intentional, which is 15 yards. The officials ruled that intentional. And had he let it go, it might have been accidental. He could have said, just give me 5. He kept holding on to it. The official says, no, buddy, that's 15 yards.
Hopkins knew he had a strong man to contend with. 6 catches for 82 yards for Sterling Sharp today. First and 10, ball at the 49 of Green Bay. 9:35 left in the game. Farr dumps it off to Sidney. And Sidney, good second and third effort. You talk about the need to keep those knees and legs driving. That's an indication 6 yards picked up on a play.
Not just knees and legs, but leverage. You got that shoulder down, you got that good forward lean, and you're driving, Nice play. That's a veteran. That's Harry Sidney. Big fella. Got that strength. And right now, he knows his team needs whatever you can to win. They're all in there together.
Part of that San Francisco 49er connection. Holmgren and staff knew what they were getting in Sidney, an experienced guy who knew the system and could show by leadership. And some good defensive leadership that time by William Thomas.
May have gone to the well one too many times on that play.
And there is a late flag on the play.
Defensive holding, number 98.
And that one on Tommy Jeter. So Philadelphia's defense hurting itself twice here with penalties. The face mask on Hopkins, and now the holding on Tommy Jeter.
Tommy Jeter,
Texas.
Tommy Jeter's a rookie. That may be a rookie mistake. But William Thomas certainly was all over that wraparound draw. He says, we've seen that play enough today, guys. You're not getting any more yardage on that.
First down.
Brett Favre not only gets constructive criticism after every game from the coach Mike Holmgren and the quarterback coach Steve Mariucci, but also from his father, a football coach down in Mississippi, who calls him up with a bit more general constructive criticism, he says.
His dad put a satellite in so he could always see his son's games no matter where they are and give him his written critique after the game.
On 1st and 10, Thompson running hard. Darrell Thompson ahead for a 6-yard gain, should bring up a 2nd and 4. Byron Evans on the tackle. 8-10 and counting left in the game. Green Bay on top, 21-17. Darrell Thompson in on relief for Vince Workman, who left in the first half with a shoulder injury. Thompson, 11 carries, 56 yards. There's Vince Workman. And the Packers haven't missed a beat. Reggie White got a hand on that one. Reggie White may only have 5.5 sacks on the season coming into the game, but he also had 31 quarterback hurries to his credit coming into today.
That's top of your screen. That's Reggie White. Gets his hand up and knocks the ball away. You know, Reggie White doesn't have a lot of sacks this year, and of course that's because the offense double teams him and triple teams him. They feel you've got to stop Reggie White or you have no opportunity to execute anything offensively. So he gets so much attention that the other guys on the defensive line get to make the sacks.
3rd and 4. Packers 8 of 9 on 3rd down conversions, and there is a flag. We'll see which side is guilty.
False start. Several members of the offensive line moved before the snap. 5 yards. It's still 3rd down.
He mentioned several members of the offensive line. But I tell you, this line has really done a strong job today. Take a look at what that line has led.
128 rushing yards. Philadelphia prides itself on no one being able to get 100 yards rushing on them. Today, the Green Bay line has done the yeoman's work.
Boy,
magnificent day, really, blocking offensively.
Nearly 8 yards of play average. My goodness. And there is the first sack of the day. The graphic will now have to be changed as Andy Harmon comes in to record his 4th sack of the season.
I think I jinxed them, JP, talking about how good they're blocking, both run and pass-wise. That was Andy Harmon. Andy Harmon's of that kind of 3-tackle rotation they have in there. Harmon, Garlick, and Jeter. Just a nice play. Howland there stayed with it. That's Frank Winters, number 52, the left guard he went over.
Second punt of the afternoon for Brian Wagner, as I mentioned earlier. Replacing the cut, Paul McJulian. By Sikahema back to receive. And Sikahema waiting for the fair catch. And the ball will be spotted near the 11, 36-yard punt. 4.7 hang time.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. With the return to health of multi-talented Randall Cunningham, plus the continued improvement of number 86, Fred Barnett, the Eagles' air attack has dramatically taken wing this season. Together, this potent passing partnership has helped make the Philadelphia Eagle attack the best they can be.
If you want want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army, so when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
I saw those lights, and even though I was only 5, I knew something terrible had happened. First, I saw the cars. They were, I don't know, mangled. My father told me not to look, but I had to. I remember seeing this little boy. We made eye contact. I could see the fear in his eyes. It's something I'll never forget. No, I don't drive a Mercedes to impress my friends.
That's Nolan Cromwell. His special teams have been better today. He's taken a lot of criticism this week. Last week they lost to the Giants primarily because his guys, the special teams, didn't play well. Today they're playing well. No fumbles, no turnovers, no penalties, no punt blocks, no fumble punts, no muff snaps.
Rich Kotite squad has 6:44 left in the ball game, trailing 21-17. A touchdown needed to win. Heath Sherman. And Sherman to the left side for about 4. Brown and Yurkovich leading the tackles. There's Robert Brown, guy who lives in Fairfax, Virginia, does a lot of training down at George Mason University. Used to work out quite a bit with Dexter Manley when Manley was playing.
I think he's in school also, about to get his degree from a school back east.
2nd and 6. Looking for Barnett, and there's a flag on the play. Defensive interference should be called on Terrell Buckley that time, as Barnett had to ease up in his run trying to come back for the pass.
Terrell Buckley certainly ran into him. Had Terrell Buckley been going for the ball, been looking back, since both the offensive and defensive player have an equal opportunity to make the catch, it wouldn't have been a penalty. But in this case, that's not true. Barnett was free. Buckley is just defending him, hits him too early. That's a penalty.
Point well taken. Had he looked back, and Chuck Cecil was right there waiting to apply the big hit. First and 10.
Hit him too.
Ball at the 46 of Green Bay. Flea flicker. Cunningham looking deep. And another interference call. This time it will be on Roland Mitchell, as Barnett is saying, wait a minute, it should be down at the 1. We'll see where they spot it.
It certainly should be down at the 1, and that is a penalty. 2 penalties in a row that help the Eagles go the entire length of the field.
Defensive pass interference, 1st and goal.
Well, just as we mentioned, don't count them out yet.
This is a flea flicker, JB, when the back goes into the line and flicks it back to the quarterback. Randall's throwing downfield. Just sometimes you figure you've got to save the touchdown and hope that your defense can keep them out of the end zone.
1st and goal. Ball marked at the 2. Out of the I formation. The pitch to Walker. And Walker. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Herschel Walker looked to have been stopped at least twice and used that strength to drive across.
Well, Roland Mitchell is a defensive back. When he hit Herschel Walker at the 4-yard line, he was just trying to hold him up to get support from his linebackers to come up and push Herschel back. He got no support from his linebackers or defensive line. He, of course, couldn't hold Herschel, who weighs 30, 40 pounds more than he does. Touchdown. Herschel Walker should always be able to score if a cornerback hits him high on the 4-yard line, which, of course, he did.
6th rushing touchdown of the season for Herschel, and the point after is good. So Philadelphia goes out in front. 5:45 left in the ball game. The Eagles, on 2 humongous penalties, capitalized.
That's Roland Mitchell hitting Herschel at the 4. He can't hold him by himself. He's looking for support, gets no support. Herschel spins, breaks free, touchdown. Again, Herschel's coming to the right. We can see the defensive lines there. Good stick by Roland Mitchell. Hits him at the 5. He's trying to hold. He's looking for it. He's looking around. Somebody help me. No one gets there to give any support. Herschel's a big, big running back. Spins, takes him in the end zone.
Herschel Walker, a well-chiseled and strong individual, knocking in what listed at 225, and Roland Mitchell at 195. But Mitchell may as well have been trying to stop a Mack truck.
You know, last week it was the offense via interceptions thrown by Brett Favre that really got the Giants back in the game. This week, it's poor plays by the defensive backs. 2 penalties, and the Eagles went the length of the field, and now they're behind at this point.
Roger Ruzek set to kick off for the Eagles. 5:45 left in the ball game. Harris and Brooks are back for the Packers. And this will be Harris from the 11th. And Harris is roped, hog-tied, and dropped by Saran Stacy. Don't forget, coming up next is the second half of our double-header action today, featuring the Rams against the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. Others will see the Chicago Bears take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Doubleheader action, second half, coming up next on CBS. Philadelphia with 3 timeouts remaining. Green Bay with 2 as Mike Holmgren looks down at the chart to see what may work. Packers will be starting from their own 21, 1st and 10. Thompson in motion. Favre escapes Evans. Intended receiver was Sterling Sharp. John Booty with the nice defensive play.
You know, Brett Favre didn't drop very deep. That was just a three-step drop and deliver. Sterling Sharp is trying to do one of those deep crossing patterns we spoke about earlier today. That was man coverage. Wasn't open. Good defense.
Pass a little too late that time, as you saw in that replay. Sterling Sharp can swat aside most defensive backs in this league. 2nd and 10. Out of the pro set. Sharp in motion. Favre shovels it forward. And a flag on the play as Andy Harmon drops him. And Favre still hurting from the first quarter rib injury. Boy, this is one tough nose.
Well, the illegal touching by number 75. The penalty is loss of down. 3rd down.
And Favre trying to shovel that one forward to Ken Rutgers, and the Packers pay the price, losing a down.
That's a fierce pass rush. That's Clyde Simmons on the right of your field. Goes inside, breaks through, puts the initial pressure. Of course, Reggie's right behind him. Brett Favre taking the fall. He's already hurt. He's probably hurting more now. Delivered that pass. Ken Rutgers touched it at the Benson infraction.
So it's 3rd and 10, 5:27 left. Eagles on top, 24-21. Favre back to pass. Throws a pick, and Evans takes it out of bounds at about the 19. 4th interception of the year for Byron Evans. And just like last week, as we mentioned against the Giants, the Packers kept it close, but lost it at the end. And here the youngster, Brett Favre, throws another interception.
Well, he does throw an interception here, and it is 2 in the 4th quarter. It's just a badly delivered pass into double coverage. He's trying to make the tackle right now. When you're a quarterback and you make a mistake and you try to make that play to make yourself feel better. Not a good pass and threw it into double coverage. Packers have got to be able to play 4 quarters if they're going to beat an NFC East team. They've been in there and they lose it late in the game.
Ball at the 20 of Green Bay, 1st and 10. 5:17 left in the game. Sherman, and Heath Sherman. Fumble! And the Packers come back up with it. Leroy Butler. Leroy Butler recovers.
Well, it ain't over. This is Heath Sherman, who's been carrying the ball for the Eagles all day and making the big plays. Unfortunately, that is a big play for the Green Bay Packers, not the Philadelphia Eagles. Heads up play, good run. Gives Green Bay another shot at it.
1st and 10 from the 27. Favre to pass. Throws it complete to Sidney. House here at Milwaukee County Stadium, 56,000 strong for this interdivision matchup between the Packers and the Eagles. Philadelphia on top 24-21. 4:45 and counting left in the ball game.
Brett Favre has another chance. JB, you know when he went to the sideline after that interception, he was praying, just give me another chance. He's now got another chance. He wants to win this game, but he certainly doesn't want to throw another interception.
A gain of 7 makes it 2nd and 3. Favre looking up top for Sharp. And Sterling Sharp has it. A big 1st down and deep into Eagles territory.
That's Sterling Sharp on John Booty. We spoke about the fact that the Eagles will double cover him. This is Booty up early. Sharp is too big for him to bump and run. He swats him out of the way, beats him to the outside, looks the ball in. Nice play. That's number 38, Rich Miano, who had him deep. Difficult to double cover a guy when he can push aside the bump and run guy who's taking him at the line of scrimmage. Sterling Sharp can.
You see the numbers on the afternoon. He's on pace. He's got his 7 catches for the afternoon. 1st and 10. Ball at the 32. Flag on a play. Out of bounds with the catch, but there is a flag on the play. Kittrick Taylor held on to it, but out of bounds.
Frank Winters is signaling defensive holding.
Holding, number 38, 5 yards.
That's Rich Miano.
Way to go, Frank Winters. Brett Favre's on-the-road roommate, I might add.
.25 left in the ball game. 1st and 10. Packers at the 27 of Philadelphia. Thompson. Darrell Thompson running hard inside the 20. A gain of 8 on the play. Will bring up a 2nd and 2. Darrell Thompson running like folks thought he would have in year 1.
This could be the game, JB, where he comes of age. Vince Workman is hurt. No fault of his own, but they've been trying to work Darrell Thompson into this offense. This could be his game. This could be the time where he moves up.
2nd and 2. Ball at the 19. Thompson. And Darrell Thompson looks like he has enough for the 1st down from this angle. And he does. 2:25 and counting left in the ball game. Darrell Thompson, who came on in relief of the injured Vince Workman, and has put up some workman-like numbers here in the second half. And Philadelphia, not aware that Washington is losing, certainly was hoping to capitalize with the victory today. Coming into the game tied for second place in the NFC East with the Redskins at 6-3.
Here, JB, going back to Sterling Sharp, he's got 7 catches today, which puts him on pace to take over the Art Monk receiving record.
When it came time to sell the car, I don't know why. I guess I was sort of torn. I mean, we'd been through a lot together. Still, I decided to run an ad with what I thought was a fair price. Next thing I know, I've got all these incredible offers. After a lot of thinking, I went with the lowest bid.
Thanks, Dad.
Things haven't been that great with Steve and me for a while, so it's not a total surprise.
Believe me, it's been a little scary being on your own now. You really need to start thinking about money.
I haven't begun to think about that.
When I went through this, I sat down with a broker over at P. & Weber. He looked at what I had, and we came up with a plan that basically just let me get on with my life.
How did he know what you needed?
Fortunately for me, he asked.
Other laser printers have been playing leapfrog for years in a futile effort to catch up with the HP LaserJet. Now they're truly up against it. Hewlett-Packard introduces the HP LaserJet 4, a new generation, a new standard to reach for. Good luck, fellas. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
A packed house here at Milwaukee County Stadium, and Mike Holmgren was actually asking the question, why do we have to play down in Milwaukee? And folks have told him, hey, tradition, my man. And in fact, the Packers have been very successful down here. Many teams don't like coming in here to play, and I'm sure Rich Kotite may be among them. One of the reasons, again, both benches on the same side of the field. You'll see the number of yards allowed. The Eagles have been allowing only 84 yards rushing. Green Bay with 139 so far. Thompson. A gain of about 5 on a play by Darrell Thompson. 1:44 left in the game, and Bud Carson, not accustomed to seeing his defensive unit run on like it's being run on today. But it's an emotionally charged Packers unit.
Yo, this is Jazzy Jeff. And how did I get my starter hat to look like this? The Jazzy Jeff breakdown. First you grab the hat, then you grip the hat, then you flip the hat. Make sure it's a starter hat. Then you raise the hat. Then you slam the hat. Then you twist the hat. Then you turn the hat. Then you spin the hat. Then you smooth the hat. But hey, don't forget, look for the star.
Next Saturday and Sunday, it's the Franklin Funds Shark Shootout, hosted by Greg Norman. 10 two-man teams will compete, including John Daly, Fred Couples, Tom Kite, Nick Price. Last year winning team was Tom Pertzer and Lanny Watkins. That'll be coming your way next Saturday and Sunday on CBS, and there's a golf look-alike.
No, that's Craig Stadler, isn't it? Oh, no, it's Mike Holmgren. Amazed me how much it looks like Craig Stadler.
2nd and 5. Favre rolling. And runs out of bounds with it. Couldn't find an open guy, so Brett Favre smartly takes it out of bounds. 140. Well, smartly, that is, if he wants to protect the ribs. You may think, yeah, to keep the clock going is the best thing, but when you've got bruised ribs, you go to safety.
Well, plus, I don't think we'll be seeing him delivering any balls if he's not sure any longer. 2 interceptions this fourth quarter, 3 last week. I think if he would have thrown another interception, he might go off the wrong side of the field. Be afraid of Coach Mike Holmgren.
3rd and 7. at the 13. Thompson in motion. Out of bounds. The receiver was Sanjay Beach, but he caught it out of bounds. So Chris Jackie will come on to attempt the field goal to try and even things up with 1:34 left in the ball game. 24-21, Eagles lead. And this will be a 31-yard field goal attempt by Chris Jackie. Don Majkowski holding. And we've got a tie ball game. Packers refusing to lay down as Mike Holmgren's bunch continuing to play inspired football. Rich Kotite barking out instructions there. In the NFC Central, Minnesota clearly for real. A victory by the Packers today would help them immensely as they look to gain ground. And I'm sure you don't find too much of an argument, George Stark, from folks that the toughest conference around the NFC East, as I mentioned earlier, Philadelphia and Washington coming into today's contest, tied at 6-3 in second place. Washington right now losing to Kansas City. Philadelphia hoping to capitalize on that.
It would be a great opportunity for Philadelphia to go up one on Washington. And I'm sure they thought that today was going to be the easiest of the 6 games they've gotten coming up. They had coming up, and they've gotten themselves in a dogfight, which is what they wanted to try to avoid. But here it is.
We saw that shot of Rich Kotite. The one thing you get in talking with him is that he's a straight shooter. Second heater from the 2. Job done by Green Bay's special teams. Corey Harris also had a little help on that play from Carl Carter.
Green Bay special teams have been solid all day. I mean, the biggest special teams play, of course, was the field goal we just saw executed. But their punting teams have been good all day, and their coverage teams have simply been fantastic.
So Randall Cunningham will come out with 1:25 left in the game. Eagles starting from their own 11. Eagles with 2 timeouts remaining. Green Bay with 2 timeouts remaining. Roger Ruzick could decide it. He has a season long of 50 this year against Denver, that at the vet. Two tight end formation. Cunningham hands off to Walker. And Herschel Walker bullying his way. Herschel Walker up near the 20. A gain of 9 on a play by Herschel Walker. Last week, just 47 yards on 20 carries. Running hard today. Herschel's chalked up 47 yards again, but this time on 11 carries.
Green Bay wants the ball back. They want to stop the run, but they don't want to give up the big pass play.
2nd and 1. Walker. The Packers say they have it. We'll await the official signal. It is Packers football as Herschel Walker coughs it up. Johnny Holland with his first fumble recovery of the season. 43 seconds left in the game.
Johnny Holland, who they say the Green Bay Packers defensive team is their leader, their Mr. Consistency, the guy that makes big plays. His first fumble recovery, but he's been their leader all year long.
Ball at the 23 of Philadelphia. 1st and 10. Thompson. Hit twice and finally stopped. No gain on the play.
That's Herschel in your middle of your screen. He's going to the right. He sees a little crack. He's trying to get through. The ball just appears to slip out of his hands. Didn't look like anybody touched it or punched it or knocked it out. It just slipped out of his hands. On the other side of that, when you see Darrell Thompson carrying the ball right now, that lesson is not lost on him. He's holding that ball with 2 hands. He may get no yards, but he's not going to drop that ball.
So timeout called with 3 seconds remaining. Green Bay with 1 timeout. They will give Chris Jackie the opportunity to win this game.
Yep.
I mentioned Chris Jackie tied the team record of 12 consecutive games with the field goal in each of those 12, but missed an opportunity to set a new record when he missed a 49-yarder last week. This will be the field goal for Jackie to remember. And this will be a 41-yard field goal attempt. It's up, long enough, and good.
Touchdown!
With no time remaining. Chris Jackie with the 41-yard boot, leaving no time left on the clock. And the Packers come away victorious as Mike Holmgren sees his team improve to 4-6 in the NFC Central Division. Eagles drop to 6-4. Back in a moment.
Yep, I'm part of the management team now, Mama.